Yeah, this boy here can hold all kinds of cans.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101, and we are the podcast with the E3 best friends that you ever did have. I am Corey, my birth name. You may call me that, or you may call me Rocker or Rocker Dude, but never Mike Pitch. That's not my name. With me, as always, I have my favorite moose. His name is KooshMoose. Hello, KooshMoose.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I am back from vacation.
This E3 miss?
Not sunburned anymore. E3 miss, yes. It was a good E3. It was a good E3. Maybe we should talk about it. But not before I introduce our other panelist. This week we have the number one Nebraskan gamer in our hearts and our leaderboards. We have Vulgar Latin. Hello, Vulgar.
Hey, how's it going? So is this the E3 Amigos episode? Ole.
Yeah.
We don't need no stinking badger.
Close.
No,
it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a reference. You guys have been referencing me all night, and I haven't been picking it up.
You don't get it. It's a reference.
Do you get that, Koosh?
Yeah, it's the Boogie Woogie.
Another one. Okay, well, moving swiftly on. Yes, it was E3. If you checked your podcast feed, you would have saw an Xbox and Bethesda E3 show recap. That was done by myself and Fufu Cuddly Poof. I encourage you to check that out. We mention every single game in that conference, that showcase, whatever you want to call it, and we talk about it. It's a 90-minute show, and we recorded for 90 minutes, so there you go. There's my plug for it. This will be just, our normal panel, and followed by some kind of crazy content afterwards, and then a Waka, and let's get right into it. I'm sure we'll be talking E3, so if you're here for that, keep up. Starting with our game showcase. What have you been playing, Vulgar?
Right. So, I figured I'd just come out the gate 151, named after my favorite rum, and go after with the Family Feud. It was on sale for $15, and I pulled the trigger, and man, I'm having a lot of fun playing Family Feud. I got some people with me. I got Dark Lord Davis. I got Tony Calzone. And we played, unfortunately, only head-to-head. I wish we could have, combined efforts as a family. And we just played the Feud. That's not to say it's not weird. There is some weirdness. So, if you play head-to-head mode in Family Feud, I'm going to assume that a lot of you know the basic gist of the Family Feud, but essentially it's a game show. They poll 100 people, the top however many answers are on the board, and you got to guess it. So it'll be like, one of them was name something you don't want to see on your spouse's face, which was very bizarre. And you have to put in guesses, and if you get them all right, you get the points. And if you get 3 strikes, someone else can steal. But at the end, once you hit 300 points, generally, your family goes to fast money, and then you basically do a lightning round of 2 rounds. And it's one family for bonus points. But if you play head-to-head on the Family Feud, that's not how that works at all. Instead, you just play fast money, and whoever does the best at fast money ultimately wins the game. And I was so mad when Tony snuck by and beat me at fast money. They have no idea. I was like, wait, what? I lost at fast money? How does anyone lose at fast money?
Yeah, interesting. So these are online modes. I might have access to this. I don't know, but if I do, I think I want to play some competitive fast money.
Let's play the Feud, dude. I think we could stream this. I think we could, we could have our own separate parties and just keep it in, families. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that could work.
We were having parties open and people were just kind of guessing right along with it. It was good. The only other problem is that the host isn't Richard Dawson. It isn't Steve Harvey. It isn't even Al from Tool Time. It's some dude they made up named Lucky McCoy. And Lucky McCoy is the worst. I hate him. Every time he opens his mouth, I just cringe.
He's keeping prices down, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he is a smarmy discount game show host. And he's with dated references and all. Now that I say that, I think I might be a smarmy outdated game show host.
Yeah, you never know. So this is an Ubisoft game. It looks like it is on sale for the lowest price it's ever been at half off. 15 to 20 hours.
It's gonna take some doing.
It's gonna take some time. I do see. If this is your jam, there's an achievement for playing on July 4th. So,
yep.
I guess this is Is it the first time that you can get this achievement legit?
Yes,
it is. So these 52 people who have gotten it are they dirty cheaters.
Yep, they've gamed the system. Yeah, you have to grind out for levels, which is going to be the worst part. So you better really playing the feud, because you have to earn however many, and you have to play the computer, that kind of stuff. But for $15, I had a lot of fun just playing the feud. Really, it's good. It's a good time.
I foolishly thought this was the part of the bundle with Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, but I guess not.
No, that only came with Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, I think.
Yeah, no, I've got those because I am a massive fan of old game shows. And I am working on my completions of all of those old game shows on the Xbox One. Lord help me.
Yeah, I'm kind of just checking it out. It looks like people have put in Google Docs that have a ton of answers in it. It obviously has online play. You have to win so many games, but it does seem like a fun time. I will give it that.
Yeah, it's, whether or not it's fun to get to level 30 and play for 20 hours, especially if you're just doing this one right after the other, just marching all the way to the end. That'd be rougher. I can't guarantee anything on that.
Now, how did Ubisoft get all of these licenses? Because they're doing everything. They do all these games.
Yeah, I know. They're publishing them.
Yeah.
I think all those games are owned by one person or one company.
Some media company, yeah.
Because I know Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune are owned. I think that's all Merv Griffin stuff. Somebody's going to correct me, I'm sure. But because Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, they collab a lot. So April Fool's episodes would have Alex Trebek host Wheel of Fortune and Pat Sajak host Jeopardy. That kind of stuff. But I think that's why.
Well, seems like a good time.
Yeah, I challenge you to a family feud.
I will look in my ready to install, and if it's there, you are on, buddy.
Bring it.
You are on. All right. Just observing our show notes here. What have you been playing, Koosh?
What have I been playing? Well, what have I been playing on the Xbox? Let me tell you.
What's been in your box?
What's been in my box?
What's in the box?
What's on my box and is no longer on my box is Observation. Now, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago and multiple times that this was leaving Game Pass. And I put it off and then like I normally do. And then I look and the calendar says that it is the 15th. And I'm thinking, that's the last day this is available. So I should play this. So I went ahead and I left it on all day. And anytime I had a chance to get away from some work for a little bit, I looked at the guide and I went down, I did a couple things, and I went back, did some more work, and basically just left this game open for like a whole day and completed it with all the free time I had. I don't recommend doing that. It's not great. It doesn't feel good. And things become real disjointed and you don't really get a whole lot of the story. Now, what I did get from the story was interesting enough. Do I want to go back and do it again? No. And it's not, to me, this game is very similar to your Tacoma and your Deliver Us to the Moon. Very similar to those. It's not as twitchy as Deliver Us to the Moon or Deliver Us the Moon. That one had some action sequences you had to do with a timer and things like that. In Observation, you are the computer. You're the computer AI, and the humans on the space station, give you orders. They tell you to go do things. They tell you, hey, the cameras aren't working in this sector, so you have to go to specific rooms. Through your camera, you can just kind of jump through, select what room you're going to be in. And in that room, you can jump from camera to camera. Every now and then you can jump into a little mobile camera. They can fly through the space station and they can interact with things. And there's collectibles all over the place in the form of documents or, computer documents as well. So like getting on a laptop and downloading something. Sometimes you have to combine things. Which would require you to pay attention, or you could follow a guide, which is what I did. What else about this game? Yeah, so I thought it was interesting that you're the AI and you're jumping all around instead of a person. So that was kind of a unique perspective to be in. I hadn't really seen that before. I can't recall. And like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of following the guide, but there were way too many collectibles and there is no chapter select. So had you played this naturally, you would have had to go through it completely again. And it is a little bit painful to do so. One of the reasons for that is they love their dramatic pauses. Everything takes forever. Sometimes they'll do an action and, then they want to show you something dramatically visual. So it's a very slow zoom out. And I'm like, okay, well, what's happening? And I'm, jiggling the controller, nothing's happening. The view is just very slowly backing away. And it just takes minutes. And they take minutes to do this. And you finally get the camera back to a position and then fade to black. So now not only have we done the dramatic fade away, we've now done the dramatic fade out. And then you can get back into the game again. It's just way too dramatic. Like, let me skip it. If I want to be, if I want to see that, cool. If not, let me skip it, especially after it's been going on for like a minute or two. And then at the very, very end of the game, not going to give anything away, but you are traveling, and you're not really sure what's going on, and so it's very kind of dramatic. You're like, what is going on? What's happening? And your character is clipping through rocks.
Oh, that was ledges. The worst.
It's just like, what? Like, this is the end. This is the climactic moment. Like, everything has been building to this, and this is going to tell us what's happening, and then the game is going to end. And the last couple minutes, I'm clipping through walls. I'm like halfway through a tree, and it's just like, did we not pay attention to this before it rolled out? Like, I mean, we couldn't have changed that a little bit. I don't know. So that was just weird.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I just found myself laughing, like shaking my head, like I can't believe. Oh, and also I have to wait dramatically to the end of this until it's over. The credits were very short. I was surprised by that. But yeah, so it's out of Game Pass now. You cannot enjoy this for free. You have to pay for it, and I don't really recommend it unless that's what you want to do.
It's a little pricey.
It's a little pricey.
Like $25. What I didn't know is that was published by Devolver Digital. Had I paid attention, I might have tried it, but yeah, it seemed like too much for me at any time, whether it was leaving Game Pass or not. But like you said, like look like there's 85 collectibles, and if there's no chapter select, then yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
To try to manage, you almost have to follow a guide.
I try not to play these games that you have to follow a guide. Like I like to play my games, so I want to play it some, and then if I want to do cleanup, give me a chapter select. I'll go through with a guide. I'll do whatever. That's cool. That's how I want to enjoy my game. This one, not so much, but the story was interesting. Like I really liked some of it. I like some of the twists, and that was all cool. But I'm not a huge fan of these walkthrough games. So would I buy them myself? No. Will I play them on Game Pass? Only in the last week, apparently. So, but yeah, observation.
I liked it for what it was. Yeah, I also did the same route. I brewed up a pot of coffee on a Saturday morning, and I sat down for 4 straight hours with the guide, and I just went for it. And yeah, for the most part, I don't see how you're supposed to get all those collectibles, because there's a point of no return.
Several. There's multiple points of no return. Yeah. The
orb. So it's hard for me not to describe it a lot like Deliver Us the Moon, because they were released like basically back to back in Game Pass. And of those two, I'd say Deliver Us the Moon is a little bit more fun. I enjoyed that one a lot more. Both are written by the same guy as well. The walkthroughs were written by the same guy. And if you're gonna do the walkthrough, he's top notch at it. Actually, I think he does a bang up job of really telling you exactly where you need to go, and he has like little spoiler stuff too. So if you want to do it or find it on your own, you can. But keeps all the plot elements away. But yeah,
I was looking at the collectibles portion of it, and I really like the way it's done. It's a nice table, everything's numbered, and yeah, it has the spoilers with images, and they look like good images to tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yep.
And sometimes that's dictated by the game, but his guides, You're right, his guides are really good. They're top notch.
Yeah, he is. If you're going to do it, I would say $25 is way too much for this kind of thing. If it goes on sale for like 10, I'd say at 10 I'd be okay with my experience with observation. The orb controls though are really bad too. I had to change the sensitivity because you get to control the cameras, and then very early on you get stuck in an orb, a lot like Deliver Us the Moon, and then you get to fly around in that orb, and I like banged into walls and like got whiplash just turning as the orb. And then there's some space exploration sections that are very, very tedious to me. I hated those.
I don't know how you would do that naturally. Like there's literally so much space you can explore, and you have to find a little postage stamp to interact with.
Yeah, here's a space station. You have no orientation because it's space. Who are we to say what's up? And all of the space station looks identical and is barely marked. And you don't have a map. Good luck. There you go, kid. It was real bad. And also I think there is stuff that you have to scan. Like there's a specific thing you have to go to and find in that spot.
In order to progress the story. Yeah. Otherwise you're just flying around.
And an achievement. There's an achievement for finding a specific part of the thing early on. Trying to be vague, but there's a specific collectible out there that has its own achievement.
Oh, right.
Space.
Right, in space.
Yeah. In space, no one could hear you yawn. It was, I mean, it was a good coffee game is what I call them, where you just kind of, I go through, I like doing those with a guide and just having a cup of coffee and like going through the story and just kind of letting the guide do all the real heavy thinking and just sipping a coffee and doing it. But I can't imagine doing 2 run-throughs to get the story and then to do all the collectibles. Yeah,
no, I would not have done that. I definitely enjoyed just kind of, passively accepting the story, kind of like a movie. That's the way I justified it. Is that, okay, yeah, I'm reading the guide and I'm doing this thing strictly from the guide, but I'm basically watching a movie. So I felt a little bit better about that.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, that was observation. Yeah.
Observations on observation.
Interesting. I'll have something to talk about gaming while watching a movie later. But like I said, came back from vacation, and normally I get a decent amount of gaming time on vacation because everybody goes to bed and I kind of stay up, and that's what I do. But I opted to try to get more sleep. And you know what? I'm still tired, so it was a waste of my time. I did game a little bit. I played Ori on my Surface. That was good to get back to. I'm working my way through a hard playthrough. The first Ori, that is. So that'll be fun to pick back up. But when I got back home, I decided to sit down and play one of the newest rats. And it's called Sun Wukong vs. Robot. That is a mouthful of a title. And this is a platformer. It is self-described as a mini retro pixel Metroidvania game inspired by old school classics. And you know what? It kind of is. You have upgradable skills that you get when you defeat bosses. There is an obvious Vayner map, albeit very small, and you need to beat the whole game to get to completion. You do that by beating all 4 bosses, or at least the last boss. I don't know if there are any skips or anything like that. The game is short enough, and there's a guide out there that can get you through it in about 30 minutes. But I can see where they have the Vaynerness in there. It's not classified like that on T8 as of now, but in their description, that's what they call it. And it has a unique mechanic. As you kill enemies, it's kind of you get EXP for killing enemies, but that EXP is your currency. So when you get to a shop, you can spend that, and you can grind out getting that by obviously killing enemies. And there's good spots to do that at. There are spawners, so you can just sit by the spawner and really grind that if you need it to. But otherwise, the game it's not like super great, but it's not super bad. You could do a lot worse if you just wanted to play a platformer. I think I did it in about an hour. I started to kind of like do it myself, and then I kind of got over it. So yeah, I threw on the guide just to see what they said, to not really get lost, because they do have like a maze and a little puzzle mechanics in some of the map in the rooms. But otherwise, you get skills and you go through these bosses, and they really don't take a lot of time. They all have save rooms right before them, so if you die, you can easily try again. But yeah, it's pretty standard fare for a Ratalaika game. $5. It's actually $4 for the next week or so on this launch discount. But yeah, it's called Sun Wukong vs. Robot.
So
pretty easy.
Did you know who Sun Wukong is, or do you know?
Okay,
rather,
you know off the bat, I'm going to say no, but I had to make a video for this game, and I was like researching. I wasn't researching. I was Googling to make sure I got the name right. Mm-hmm. And when I did Sun Wukong, like a bunch of stuff came up. So learn me here. Sun
Wukong is as a character of Chinese folklore, also known as the Monkey King. And so if you've played games like Monkey King Saga or Enslaved, Journey to the West, that's all based on the story of the Monkey King. And if you're familiar with a little-known anime called Dragon Ball, it stole so much from Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball stole so much from Sun Wukong, it's not even funny. Like the stick, like in early Dragon Ball, he gets the stick, and like having the tail, and yeah.
Interesting, because whenever you defeat the boss, like you get this short little cutscene of the guy you're playing, but it looks a lot better because it's not pixelated necessarily, and like something lights up on his forehead, and he kind of looked like a monkey, and that makes sense now.
Yep, you can see his tail a little bit. Yeah, I get a little.
Yeah,
this game, I got to I am at the point where you're talking about needing to guide because you're just kind of like over it. I'm at the over it phase where I'm just like, I need to go get a guide. I'm done. I have a lot of Metroid 1 vibes from this game, in that it doesn't really give you a lot of direction in how to solve it, or where to go next, or what to do. And I got kind of lost and was like, I'm just going to get a guide the next time I do it.
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty short. Once you're through it all, you look at the map and you're like, it kind of makes sense. But they even label the sections of the map A, B, and C, and D, so like they clearly have a path for you to go. I don't know if you can skip those, like I said, but for the completion, you do need to beat every boss. So, luckily, there is one skill. I think it's either the first one you earn or the first best one to buy, and it's like a turret that spits fire, and you can like just stand next to a boss, spam it, and you just get a ton of damage right off the bat. But yeah, an easy game for like a little palate cleanser to come back home to, because my other game, which I'll mention much later in the show, it's a doozy. It's definitely not short, so that's what I decided to go with for this week. Vulgar, let's kick it back to you. You have another game on this list here. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, before I start, I just want to ask you, Corey or Nate, what's good in life? Or what is best in life, rather?
You want the actual answer?
Yeah. I would like. I figured Corey wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But
I'm sure this is another reference. Yeah, go ahead.
It is. Well, I'm gonna murder if I do it. But basically, to crush your enemies and hear the lamentations of their women.
Yep, to crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. All of which I've done nothing of in Conan Exiles, which came to Game Pass recently and had a $20 DLC, which I purchased. Yeah, so Conan Exiles, it's a survival, I guess it's like MMO. I've been playing it by myself and briefly in co-op, but you can start out buck naked and get banned from Mixer, or you can start out partially clothed and you have to find food and shelter, and eventually you can get a thrall and do blacksmithing and build a thing, and all of that. If you're going for the efficient achievement route, you'll do nothing of, because you can make yourself the admin of the world and basically make a mockery of the entire game, spawn in all the bosses and everything. But what really got into my craw was the DLC, which requires you to explore all of the locations on the map. And there are so many locations on the map, and they are so finicky, and it is so frustrating. Because you have to, it's like one of those things where you walk in and it's like, you've discovered such and such place. And I'm like, cool. And you have to discover such and such place so many times, and everywhere I've looked and all the resources, I've not been able to do it. Even though you're able to teleport. Maybe I'm just stupid. I'm probably stupid, but yeah, I've not been able to do it. I need to go back and spend some more time flying, because my Conan can fly, and just going for it. Good TAD though. The base completion is super quick. If you were looking for things that you needed to complete the base completion of, and only the base completion, and some of the DLC is title updates now, so you can do some of that, but there's Isle of Sipta specific content.
So I'm looking at that achievement where you have to visit everything, and like people just keep referencing this map and it has a bunch of icons on it. Is there not a list that you can just say, go to these coordinates? You have to actually find it. If
there is a go to these coordinates, I have not found it. And so most of it is just me going like, okay, well, this is what it says on the map. And the map's great. You can zoom in, but they want you to be on a very specific spot as far as I can tell. Because there's one off to the top right corner that I'm not able to figure out. There's another one that's an underwater cave. I wouldn't have found that out had I not looked at the comments. And I have most of the middle. I've been working my way around the outside trying to get those, and then working towards the middle last. Everything else is super quick. Besides, some people have issues. There's one where you need to enter the maelstrom, which requires you to engineer a server event or wait for the server event to happen where a giant storm can happen and eldritch abominations can appear. But I was able to I got lucky, and that happened for me really quickly, and all I have to do is just fly around as Lady Conan, Red Sonja, if you will, and discover all the locations.
It definitely doesn't sound as peachy as the base game.
Oh, the base game was peachy as all get out, except for killing someone by standing on their head. All right, crushing them. That one,
Yeah.
That one took some. Dude with the face and I did that for the Empire Challenge. But yeah, the other thing the other reason that it's really bothering me is that the game itself is 103 gigabytes. And I
was just about to say,
would rather do something else with those 103 gigabytes.
I hear that.
So,
sure.
And it takes forever to load, even on a Series X. I'm not putting it on internal because it's 103 gigabytes. And again, other things I'd rather do with it. So, such is life.
Such is life. All right. Well, I would say that does it for our game showcase, but I have to ask, even though it's not on this list, and I know he's been playing it, Ratchet and Clank, is it just like everything you've ever wanted in life, Koosh?
Oh my gosh. So I had not opened up my PlayStation 5 because...
How long have you had it?
I've had it, almost a month. I had it for about a month, but it's my It's my Ratchet and Clank machine. For the most part. And you know, my Spider-Man machine and all that stuff. All the things I'm not allowed to talk about on this show is what I use it for, basically. So
Gotcha.
I had been holding on to it and thinking, well, you know, maybe I'll sell it. Maybe I won't actually do this. Maybe I'll wait for the PlayStation 5 to be cheaper and blah, 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 second revision. And then, of course, Ratchet and Clank released. And it was in my house. And I said, okay, well, I have to do it now. So it is... everything I wanted. Now I've also been hearing people talking about the PlayStation 5 controller and how it's great. And it's okay. The tech in it is really good. I like the HD rumble. You can really feel things differently. Like when you're running, there's like just this weird like rumble to it that it just feels chunky. You can almost feel like you're clomping. So the HD rumble is really good. And, I'm not a big fan of the gyroscopic controls. Never liked them. And this has it and whatever. And the other thing is there's haptic feedback in the triggers. So not the shoulders, but the triggers. And what that means is they can increase the resistance of those buttons, those triggers as you're pushing them. So what Ratchet and Clank does is they typically on weapons, they will put a halfway point. And they'll let you just squeeze it like normal until halfway. And then once you get to that halfway point, you have to squeeze harder to like click it to get to the alt fire. And that's a really great use of the button. However, I'm just worried, you know, what's going to happen when that thing gets tired of resisting my finger and then it breaks. And so I'm a little worried about that. I don't know how that's going to work out.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, so other than that, the controller feels like garbage. I mean, if it had all that cool tech in an Xbox shell, or Xbox controller shell, that'd be awesome. Now the game is just amazing. It is everything I wanted. It is fantastic. It's just so good to have Ratchet and Clank back again. And I'm hoping that we get something somewhat like it on Xbox. Sunset Overdrive would have been that, or Sunset Overdrive 2 would have maybe been part of that. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into it, but it is great. It is everything I wanted, and that's pretty much where most of my time has been going the past couple days. When I get a chance, I play that. I'm still making some progress on all my game night games, but as far as me personally playing games, it's all on Ratchet and Clank now, probably until that's done.
So Ratchet and Clank's making you a bit of an insomniac?
Oh, yes, you could say I'm an insomniac. For sure.
What are the trophies like?
Yeah, that part's fun. I like getting trophies, and I try to get all the Ratchet and Clank trophies. So I try to carry my achievement hunting over on the PlayStation for the games that I really like the Ratchet and Clanks and, the other games I can't remember that I like, A Thief's End, so Uncharted, all that sort of stuff. Really like those games. The achievements are pretty much what you expect. It's a good group of achievements. There's a couple that are, situational, or a couple that are based on, use this weapon enough times. And then there's your standard progression. And then of course, the platinum for getting everything. So it's a good achievement list. It's fine. One of the things I'm noticing that's missing is there used to be challenges per level. So you would be on a city level and there was like a hidden challenge to destroy like all the street lamps. So you would just be running through the low level, just smashing street lamps with your wrench, which is really rewarding because every time you smash something, you bash it, like these bolts fall out and just kind of fly over to you like a swarm of bees. It's really cool. And that was in the older games. In this game, I haven't seen anything like that. Yeah, I wish in a perfect world, this would be a multi-platform title. I'd be playing it on the Xbox. I'd be getting Xbox achievements.
Yeah, I think I'm just disappointed that they didn't keep the, subtitle names. Because the first one, understandable. Going Commando. Perfect. Up your arsenal. Fantastic. The pun game really
Cracking
suffered.
Time.
Yep. Yeah. Rift Apart, not as good.
The stretch.
That could be the next one.
That's gross. Yeah. All right. Well, glad to hear that. I just had to hear about it a little bit. All right. News. Slow news week, right? E3 and all that. No, this is the biggest news week of the year. And like I said, Fufu and I did a complete Xbox Bethesda Showcase recap on a standalone episode. So if you'd like to catch up on that news, go ahead and listen to that. But at this point in time, E3 is basically done, whether we like it or not. And there's been several different conferences and other announcements made. And I just kind of want to see where you guys are at. Obviously did not talk to you on my Fufu show. So let's just talk about some of your favorite things that have been announced, if you have any. I'll go first just to kind of start the talk here. I did a lot of looking at the E3 recap and just to see what I missed and where my interest lies. And typically it's pretty spread out, even at the PlayStation thing, which they didn't have anything this year, surprisingly. And I would have to say that a lot of my hype came from the Xbox show. So it's stuff that we kind of have mentioned on and hit on in the other show. But the Nintendo Direct was today. And so I'll just start with a couple of things from that I liked. Zelda Skyward Sword is the thing that's about to come out. And I've never played it. And apparently it's where the whole Legend of Zelda kind of starts as far as the storyline goes, according to the trailer that they showed. So I'm pretty excited about that. I definitely want to see what that's about. And other than that, they announced Metroid Dread, which is a 2D, it's a Vayner.
It's a Vayner.
And I've never played a Metroid game.
You should.
I know, kind of shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should. I don't know if I'll get this like anytime soon, but it definitely looked really good, and it's got my hype up there. I think whenever I think about anything not on Xbox, I think that costs me money, and then my hype level go down a couple points. So there's that, but yeah, those are just a couple things I saw from the Nintendo thing today. What about one of you guys? What do you from E3? What's tickling your fancies?
How about you, Devin?
Yeah, I was just like, we were just kind of like, who's going first? So I was paying attention. I don't normally watch a lot of the trailers and stuff. Just kind of patiently sit back and wait till things I can actually buy and see. That said, I do really get excited for Forza Horizon 5. I haven't played a Forza Horizon I didn't like. Even the Fast and the Furious edition. I loved those. Going to Mexico, that's awesome. They're still bringing back the seasons, which I don't like, but hey, Mexico? Who doesn't love Mexico? So that should be fun. And then a lot of people were selling me on the idea of Slime Rancher 2. The sequel to Slime Rancher, weirdly. I know.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, I know. I was caught in the lurch.
Did you play the first?
I have not.
Slime Rancher?
I have not played the first Slime Rancher, but I was talking to some folks, and they were extolling the virtue of ranching. They were, in a word, jolly ranchers.
Yeah, I think me and you were kind of in the same space. I never played the first. Didn't really have any kind of appetite to do that. I liked Island Saver, so I could see in this.
It was kind of in a hidden valley, if you think about it. This game kind of came out of a hidden valley.
Yeah, it was Games with Gold, the first one, right?
I believe it was. They gave it away. It's pretty available. I know that I like those kind of games like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, or games where you have like a task, kind of like that, where you have to kind of build up. And it seems like Slime Rancher is a game like that. And if it's more of the same, I could probably be convinced to do some of that. And then 12 Minutes, a game which, I'm joking, looks like a perfect 0 to 1 hour game. I'm interested in the Groundhog Day murder mystery that it's presenting. I like that kind of stuff. The time loop narrative. Doing the time warp again is
now that's one I would play based off of developer alone. I mean, Annapurna Games, I'll play just about anything they put out, sight unseen.
It caught me. They had me at time loop. I don't know. I like doing those. I mean, my favorite Zelda's Majora's Mask, I guess. Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah,
but Majora's Mask's good. Time loops. Get some.
Yeah, and the good thing is, at least for the Xbox stuff, pretty much everything that we're talking about is going to be on Game Pass. I have a full list of the 2021 Game Pass things that we'll mention in the Game Pass section, so that's always good stuff to look forward to. What about you, Koosh? Anything for you? I know there's some stuff. Not that you've had time to look, probably, but...
Yeah, this week, aside from... whatever. Like, this week's just been crazy with work. Things have been breaking left and right and fun stuff like that. So I've been very busy with that. So it's been very hard to follow E3. And then when I do have free time, like I said, I'm playing on that other Xbox. I like to think of it as another Xbox. And so I haven't really been able to dig deep into E3. I've only kind of skated the surfaces stuff. So what I am interested in is using the power of the Series X Xbox to play games that look like they were developed for the N64 or the Super Nintendo even. I am super excited about Planet of Lana. I was blown away when I saw that trailer. It looks like Ori meets Inside. It's by a studio, a developer who hasn't done anything. This is their first game, Wishfully. So I'm very excited by that. And I think the publisher is Thunderful. Thunderful Games they've put out some things that I've really enjoyed. So everything points to that being great, or something that's just going to be perfect for me. And then Nintendo, I heard about Nintendo today. I heard a whole bunch of stuff that didn't interest me. And then someone said Metroid, and I thought they were joking. And then, Metroid Dread, I'm full in on that. I'm looking at like collector's editions on Amazon and Target, and I can't tell if they've already sold out. Now. I can't tell if they've sold out or if they're not up for sale yet. It's very hard to tell.
I think Best Buy sold out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's Nintendo stuff, man. You gotta fight a scalper to get anything.
I didn't even think about it. So whatever. I don't get the collector's edition. That's fine. I'll just get the regular game and play it. So I'm excited about that. And then when you talk about Xbox stuff, oh my gosh, just the Game Passness of this. I wish Sony had the guts to show up to E3 this year, because Microsoft would have just slayed them. I can't imagine. I know Sony is going to do something soon. They're going to have their own PlayStation Direct or whatever soon. But man, I
like to think of it as they didn't show up, so they can technically say they didn't lose.
They technically say they didn't lose. Whatever. Microsoft killed it this year. They have been getting better and better with the presentation and their delivery of Xbox is about the games. Like, we are really about games. We're committed to it, and we're starting to see some of that pay off. The acquisitions from last year, we're starting to see that stuff pay off. And their goal is a game every quarter, like a proper AAA release on Game Pass every quarter, and they're going to meet that or beat that. And I'm just looking at the stuff that's in Game Pass. And yeah, for me, the AAA games, or the games I'm super excited about, aren't really AAA games, right? Like Hades. I heard Hades. I raffle coppered,
Whoa.
Barbecue, all that stuff. My Discord exploded when I saw that was coming and that it was Game Pass. I've been waiting for that forever. So I'm super excited about that. The Gunk. I've been looking forward to the Gunk because I feel it has potential to be a Ratchet and Clank replacement or substitute. It's going to be a poor substitute if it is, but I hope it's at least partially a substitute. So I'm excited about that. And just everything that's coming to Game Pass. It's amazing. Replaced. I had no idea about this game. Like, first time I saw it was on that trailer. Absolutely blown away. That is maybe my number one most excited game. And I know nothing about it. Just that trailer, just the animation, the smoothness. So cool. Somerville, very excited about that. Atomic Heart. I'll check that out. Plague Tale. I gotta stop.
Everything.
I gotta stop. I'm super excited about this Game Pass news and everything that's coming there. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a ton. I didn't even touch on the stuff that like Game Pass stuff, like Back for Blood. They had me at Left 4 Dead. Like, we just made more Left 4 Dead. We just couldn't call it that. I didn't even have to look at a trailer. That's all they had. Then I was like, all right, I was going to buy it without looking at anything. I was just going to be like, oh, right. Here you go. Here's some money. I want to play more Left 4 Dead. Like, nah, you don't have to, bro. It's on Game Pass. What? Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts is like one of the best 3D platformers that isn't Mario that you can buy. It's awesome. It has the depth of story. It's just an amazing game that more people should go out and play. I think the first one's on Game Pass, doesn't have achievements or anything. I actually had bought that game specifically to play it because it's that good. Just them saying Psychonauts 2 was like, hey, I want to play some Psychonauts 2. That's all. They didn't even have to. I was like, Tim Schafer, Psychonauts 2, let's do it. So
one last thought. I mean, you think about Microsoft, you think about their last E3, and it was all about like the build up to Halo. And this E3, you could take Halo out of the announcements, and it is a killer E3. It's a mind blowing E3. Oh, and we're also going to get Halo Infinite at some point, probably this year.
And a Forza, yeah.
And a Forza. It's insane, the depth. Oh, okay.
I am of the belief that Microsoft playing number 2 or being the second place, or any company that's in second place tries harder. It's we're number 2, we work harder.
That's why we competition.
Yeah, and we're seeing that now. It's the whole Game Pass gambit, and you're seeing it come to fruition. This is their middle game in chess. This is what they're setting up all the pieces to do. So I'm interested to see what that's like. And just the general response. Like I said, I don't watch all of the individual trailers and stuff just to manage my own expectations. But looking at everyone else, I didn't see a lot of negativity, at least on our Discord. I don't go to Reddit for that kind of stuff because that's just a hive of negativity. But even the stuff I've seen hasn't been negative. I haven't seen anybody just harping on specific stuff about that. It all seems like a really good deal. And your $15 a month, if you're paying the $15 a month, is totally worth it for Game Pass Ultimate. So far, I like what I see. Now, if they can commit to those release schedules, that's going to be the big thing, not to sound overly cynical. I want to see if they can stick to that release calendar, because anyone can say they're going to give you those kind of things, but what are they, and are they going to be good once you get them is another kind of story there. How are they going to deliver? But so far, this seems very promising.
Right, and you mentioned it before, Koosh, where they are just promising like a AAA game every quarter. Not that they're all AAA, but they put out like a hashtag on Twitter that said 6 games, 6 months, and they're kind of trying to break down what we're gonna get. And like the next 6 months, at least for Microsoft first party, which will be on Game Pass, is just it will be nuts. And like you said, Vulgar, they do have to stick to these, but I think they will. Looking at the Game Pass stuff before we actually mention it, there's only a handful that say 2021, and Halo says holiday 2021. But I don't see any of that stuff moving. And they have some heavy hitters coming out, and that's like first party studios that have been here a while. So the Forza Horizon and Halo is coming out, and Psychonauts, they've had Double Fine for a while. This is their first one. So this is like not even talking about like what Obsidian's doing and Ninja Theory. They were not even here. They just have so much stuff in the works that it's a good time to be an Xbox gamer for sure. And once you have all these games and you just have you need to quench your thirst, they went ahead and they ended their showcase with a actual Series X mini fridge.
I am unbelievably excited about this. The amount of things that you can fit into a fridge. I mean, you got juice, you got soda, you got beer, you got hard alcohol. All of this stuff can fit into a box that can keep it cold. What?
And it could be within arm's reach of you.
I am buying one. It's sitting next to my couch while I am still single and do not have a wife to tell me that I cannot have these sorts of things in the living room. And I'm going to stock it full of Dr. Pepper and beer. And it's going to be right there. I unbelievably excited about this fridge if it's the right price. I haven't seen what the price is and how much this thing can hold, but I'm there.
It looks to hold about 10 regular size soda cans. No price, but it will come out, and we'll see. I'll probably say like $120. I could see it being that pretty easily.
Yeah,
but it looks just like a freaking Series X.
That's so cool.
Probably to scale.
Yeah, it looks like 10 cans and maybe some candy bars in the door. I don't know.
There you go.
Some Doritos, perhaps.
Slim Jims. I don't know.
some Mountain Dews. Yeah, it is the most exciting thing for me. The whole show, really, without a doubt, cannot compare to that. But yeah, and it'll probably be more available to buy than an actual Series X.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No scalpers here.
No, I mean,
maybe they'll start their insider program to sign up for it.
Yeah, I'm there, man. Day one. Day one.
But if you want a complete breakdown of that showcase, check out the other episode that Fufu and I did. We talk about everything announced. Moving on to sales. New week, new sales. Koosh, start us off. What do you recommend?
Well, thanks to E3 News, I never have to recommend a sale again. Just get the Game Pass and you are done.
That's it. That's the podcast.
That's it.
See ya.
We're done.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah. So that I could never do that. For the olds, there's a game that remind you of another game, Another World.
Fufu, cut this out. Nope, you don't need to play that.
Oh,
That's terrible.
Another World is, oh man, it's nostalgia.
It's nostalgia. It is definitely nostalgia. If you have not played this game, walk away. But if you remember, if you remember playing this game in the past, and you like games that are difficult, or whatever, challenging, you're not a baby gamer. Another World 20th Anniversary Edition, $2.39, down from $8, the typical $2.39. It's a platformer. I would have marked this down as more action adventure. TA calls it a platformer. It is nostalgia. If you don't know Another World, I'm sorry, I wasted your time. Last week, and I think the week before, I talked about Shady Part of Me. It is on sale, so go do it. Just do it. Do it. $7.50, down from $15. It's a platformer. I would have also tacked on puzzle. TA says just platformer. If you want to know more about that, go listen to a previous episode. And also a game I had been talking about forever and wanted to try. I wanted to get a free copy so I could tell what the heck this game was. Slide Stars. I, in the past, said this looks like Trials on a slip and slide. So like
on River Rapids.
Yeah, it's like you're doing River Rapids slip and slide style Trials gameplay. It's not that. I bought it. It's $12.
Did you? Okay.
It's $12 down from $30. It's labeled as a platformer, and would you know it? They got it right. This is more of a platformer than it is a Trials. You're not doing flips. You're not doing tricks. You are going. There's multiple levels, and sometimes when you beat a level with a certain person that matches well with that level. Every character has a different set of skills, a different set of attributes, and a particular set of skills. Thank you, Devin. I said it what you were thinking.
Yeah.
And as you get through that, the levels kind of have their own set of skills that have unlocks in the level. So those unlocks could be, hey, if you have this weight lifting attribute, we're going to let you ride this lift and get more coins. Or maybe you have a personality attribute, and we're going to let you get a whole bunch more score, which results in more coins. And sometimes those attributes result in a shortcut that takes you to a different ending. And when you get to that different ending of the level, it opens up another side level. So this game is all about finding all the paths, getting all the MacGuffins in the level. And then you have 3 things you have to do on each level. There's typically a time, there's a no death, and there's a get all the star pieces. I should say get all the star pieces is on every one of them. And then you have 2 other challenges for that level. You can do them one at a time, or you can get all 3 if you're really good. They have a whole bunch of characters that get unlocked as you get more stars. They have a whole bunch of inflatables that you'll get as you unlock stars, and they just come to you for free. And then the achievements are pretty straightforward. They are for dying to certain things. They are for progression. They are for using a certain character on a certain inflatable. And there's a lot of those. It's a fun game. I enjoy it, but it is definitely a platformer. It is not Trials, as I had supposed earlier. So check it out. It is fun. I'm enjoying it. Will I go back and complete it? I don't know. Stay tuned. Slide Stars.
Slide Stars.
Slide Stars.
You give it.
All right.
Slide Stars.
Slide Stars.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. There wasn't a lot on this sale that I could. I think we're dealing with a post big sale hangover. But there's a few things I would note here. One is Going Under. It's $10. Normally it's $20. This was a game that Koosh talked about, convinced me to get it as a free play weekend. I believe it is a roguelite, rogue something.
Light.
Yes. Rogue Life, where you are a intern, I believe, in a startup company that involves you going into dungeons, or like office dungeons and beating people up.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Yep. And the main thing, there's a couple things. One, the premise sounded hilarious, and I was totally all in on that. Being part of like startup culture was I've been a part of that, and that is a perfect thing to satirize. The other is the fact that after it was the free play weekend, they released a title update, which is just 50 gamer score, and it is so tantalizing to go up there and try to get that title update's worth of content that I was like, I want to do that. I want to see if I can get that sweet TAD. But I believe it's a 10 to 15 hour game from what I was remembering. And it looks like a lot of fun, and yeah, you can get that sick ratio, bro. Go do it. I don't know if that's because it's hard or because nobody bought the game and they just did it on the free play weekend, but I'm going to assume that's what's going on there. Changing gears, this one is actually free with a caveat. I'll get to that. Aftercharge. Now, if you want to get Aftercharge, you're going to have to go to the Chainsawsome Twitter account, and you're going to have to ask them for a code. They're really lovely people. I can't thank them enough for everything. The reason you're going to get free, though, is that you are on the clock. The servers are closing June the 30th. So you're going to need... You can do some of it, looks like, with bot matches, but groups are organizing. I was a part of some. I'm going to try to get that done before the 30th, but you can get that for free. Also, because of that, I bought Night Squad 2 for $15 because they were so cool with everything with Aftercharge. I threw them some bones there because they were cool, so I figured I'd give them the plug there as well. But if you're interested in that, if you're interested in going for it with half the month left, Aftercharge is available for you for free.
Excellent. And that developer is Chainsawsome.
Chainsawsome? Yeah.
Chainsawsome.
Cool folk.
And yeah, I've seen tweets that said they have like hundreds of codes. And the reason Devin mentioned that servers are going down, and because of that, it's a kind of a server-only game. The game has already been delisted, so you can't even buy it. So pretty cool of them to just give it out like that and go to the links of getting more codes, because as I understand it, they kind of ran out and they just asked Microsoft for more. So that's pretty cool of them.
Yeah, it was a cool move, which is why I highly recommend, if you're supporting that, supporting them as well, which is why I bought Night Squad 2. So thought I'd give them the plug.
This week, I am going to recommend a game that I've been watching for a very long time called Giga Wrecker Alt. Now, this is it's called Giga Wrecker on PC, and I guess they added Alt for the console release, but it came out in 2019, and it's a $25 game. It is currently $10. That's the lowest price it's ever been on Xbox. So if you are interested in it, now is the time to get it. It's genred as a platformer, although it kind of looks like a Metroidvania game. I've seen it sprinkled around. I have not played it yet myself to confirm. But without playing the game, I'm going to say that it's criminally underrated, if I can even do that. It is made by Game Freak. So this is the people that make Pokemon. They know how to make good games. And as I understand it, this is just, they had a free reign to make a non-Pokemon game, and this is what they came up with. And it looks beautiful. The gimmick of the game is like finding trash, as far as I know, and like you collect it, and it helps you do your melees and your attack, your ranged attacks. You can make platforms out of it, and you can upgrade it and stuff like that. So it kind of looks like a Vayner. I haven't seen a map, and I haven't played it myself, but I will, and I'll have to report back if that's the case. But it only has 37 players on Xbox, and to me, for what it looks like, that is highly, highly underplayed. So I will be adding to that list very, very shortly. That's called Giga Wrecker Alt. All right, Games with Gold. We have new Games with Gold. So just active now is Shadows Awakening. That's a single-player isometric RPG. And then for Fufu Cuddly Poof on the Xbox 360, you can get Injustice: Gods Among Us for free.
For free. That game's awesome.
For free.
It's great.
Go get
Do the story mode. It's fun.
Is it so it's I know the second one's good. I'd never played the first one, but you recommend?
I would recommend the story mode. It's a hard completion though. So you best get your fighting game, your joysticks, your hories, your combos, because yeah, it's it requires some absolute doing to make happen. But story mode is worth it alone.
We don't need completions here.
Nah,
We don't need no stinking completion. Speaking of not needing a completion, Game Pass news. We have a lot of it, although it's not in our normal sense. Normally we get about a 2-week notice, and we'll tell you what's been added, what's been coming soon. Well, only 2 of those apply in the immediate future, but I have some other stuff from the E3 stuff that I think we'll just kind of briefly mention. I've broken it out in order. So anyways, Yakuza Like a Dragon has been added to Game Pass. That is there today. You can go and play it. This means that all of the Yakuza games are on Game Pass, so you can play any and all of them. And this is a big series. With this iteration, Like a Dragon, as I know it, they have started with a complete brand new character, so it's in the same universe and stuff like that. But it's kind of its own story, and so it's a good jumping in point for people. Not that I have any interest in playing the old ones, but I did want to play this one. It came out in 2020, I believe, and it got a lot of high praise. It's like an 80 to 100 hour completion according to TA. And that's not me, but I have downloaded this game and I have already sunk 4 hours into it. Granted, at least 2 hours and 45 minutes, if not 3 hours, has been cutscenes.
It's very Japanese.
Kind of how this game is. It's very Japanese. It's very weird. However, I have not got to the weird part yet. Call me bad for doing it, because these are not my type of games. But I threw on English subtitles, English cutscenes, and speaking. And you could tell like the Western translations is just a little off at times, but otherwise like the game is pretty fun. I really enjoy the actual gameplay of it when I get to play it. And I'm doing my best. I'm not skipping cutscenes. At least I didn't for the first chapter. I'm in chapter 3. I didn't skip anything for the first chapter. It took forever. And the second chapter, and they tease me with it. It says skip in the bottom right corner the entire time. It's a tease. So I tested it out, and it does something I really like. In a cutscene, and when you skip it, it skips to the next like line of dialogue. So if you're like me, you can like quickly read it real quick. You're like, I got it. Keep going. So I can get through them faster that way. But I'm paying attention and I'm following all the story. I really like the gameplay. Like I said, it's turn-based fighting. You're just kind of walking through. I've done a lot of main stuff, no side stuff yet. I did one slot machine though, and that can be dangerous. It seems to be like a fun game. I'm going to use this podcast as my accountability partner, so you guys can ask me at any time where I'm at with it, and I'll let you know. Right now, I'm 4 hours in, 2 achievements, I think, deep. It's taking a while, but yeah, I'm having a good time with it.
I want you to the voice acting.
Sorry, the voice acting is actually good in the sense that I like the people doing the voice. However, I guess with the translation, they don't fit the characters to me. They don't fit how they look necessarily. I'm sure the Japanese voice actors are probably a better fit. And the only other gripe I have with it is that they didn't decide to do voice acting for everything. Like there's long cutscenes that they've done, and I can tell like the mouths move correctly with the English subtitle. So they did 2 versions, which is really cool. But sometimes it gives you the story in text boxes, and then like out of 10 sentences, like the people on screen will go, yeah, for real. Like, they'll kind of go with the dialogue, but it won't be the dialogue. I don't know why they did that. It seems to be like so far 30% of it has been text boxes, and the rest has been actual cutscenes with voices. But it's good when I'm hearing it. So, yeah, it has that going for it. Ooh, all right. I got a lot of talking to do coming up, so I'm going to pass this over to Devin, because I know he's excited about this. So what is coming soon to Game Pass?
Oh my God. So we got Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. I am hype AF. It is looks like it is a cooperative Dungeons & Dragons kind of hack and slashy kind of deal. I've already pre-downloaded it. It looks like it follows a lot of the books for the Dungeons and Dragons that I haven't read. Drizzt, it will be in there. Heizo, ask a Heizo about Drizzt. That is Drizzt, the drow. He loves him. Loves that guy. You can play that June 22nd. Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to be coming into the terminal. It's going to be arriving at July 27th at Gate 4. You fly planes. All kinds of them. They're I don't know what to tell you, man.
So now we're getting into the longer Game Pass stuff, the E3 stuff. Yeah. I did put this in order, so yeah, this is from the conference what we learned that has release dates for this year. Just to throw that out there.
Yes. The Ascent, also going to be 2 days after that. We'll be rising to the occasion July 29th. I don't know much about that one. I apologize. Hades is a game that I've seen tons about from everyone playing on the PC. A lot of streamers that I follow play it. I'm excited to play that. You can play that too, August 13th on your Xbox, provided you have Game Pass. 12 Minutes, the Groundhog Day game I was talking about. That's August 19th. Psychonauts 2, oh my god, August 25th. Mark your calendars. That's 2 months from now as of the date that we're recording this. Origami 2, September 17th. Origami 1 was Games with Gold. That's a Tenchu style game. I believe Chewy was playing that a while back. He seemed to really enjoy that one. Sable is September 23rd. That's not the WWE superstar and Brock Lesnar's wife, and I will continue making that joke up until September 23rd. Scorn comes out October 12th alongside Back 4 Blood. I'm excited for Back 4 Blood. It is more Left 4 Dead. It's awesome. And it looks like it has a DLC structure wherein the host can do all the hosting and not everyone has to buy all the DLC. How cool is that? Age of Empires.
Extra cool.
It is so cool. Age of Empires 4, which is a continuation of my favorite real-time strategy series, comes to Win 10 October 28th. So that's, I mean, I probably won't get to play it because my computer is old and dusty and runs very, very badly. But if you have a better computer than me, you can play it October 28th. Forza Horizon 5, going to Mexico, November 9th. Gonna be more racing. I'm into it. And then we're going to get into more nebulous dates here. We have Shredder's known villain of the Ninja Turtles coming out in December. Among Us some point in 2021. Your guess is as good as mine. Hello Neighbor 2, also 2021 with the Gunk. The Anacrusis Fall 2021. Oh. And then Halo Infinite sometime in holiday. So I'm going to say we're going to go with the third Tuesday in November. Let's call my shot. Third Tuesday in November, Halo Infinite.
Third Tuesday in November. That's really close to Thanksgiving.
It is. They're going to try to hit that Black Friday rush.
It could work. That could work, actually.
So that's my called shot. You can quote me on it. And that is things that you'll hear more about it in the podcast as they come up. But that's an overview of the things that were announced to arrive on Game Pass.
And there's just so much of that I want to play. It is insane.
And I'll have to look up, and I'll look them up as they come out. Sorry if I've made fun of your favorite game there, because I didn't know about it.
But next week we can play with Drizzt. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
Drizzt the Drow. That is a dark elf.
All right. Well, time for my favorite segment of the podcast.
Coming real soon.
Well, thank you, Inigo, for coming back for that. Tuesday, June 22nd. We are starting off the day with Farm for Your Life. Now, Fufu Cuddly Poof, I know you will be editing this, so listen up. This is a farming game. It's also a tower defense game, and it is also a time management game, all in one. So I thought it was kind of boring. It's like, another farming game, but a heavy storm causes an apocalypse and unleashes the living dead. and you get to rebuild your farm around that. So there you go. The Olympics are coming, and thus the video game. That comes out June 22nd, and it has 18 fun-fueled sporting events in it, from tennis and football to basketball and boxing. Almost said baseball. Is there baseball in the Olympics?
There is, actually. I was watching on ESPN Plus, and because at work we have a TV with ESPN Plus, and so we put on random sports games, and we watched Venezuela and Puerto Rico play a baseball game to Olympic qualify.
At the vacation place, there's TVs everywhere in the house, and I haven't had cable for a long time, but I just turned one on, and it happened to be on one of the ESPNs, and they were doing gymnastics. And man, I could just watch some gymnastics all day long.
I'm a
just saying.
Big fan of track, actually.
I could do that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also coming out on June 22nd, already mentioned it, Dungeons and Dragons, and that will be Game Pass action brawler, up to 3 friends, co-op. So that may be pretty cool.
Drizzit.
Up to 3 friends. That's Drizzit's perfect for my Friday night crew. Maybe. They hate that I keep adding games to our queue, but who wants to finish games?
Finish?
It's not my fault they picked that.
Never finish.
Oh boy. Moving on. Wednesday, June 23rd, Bitmaster is a twin stick shooter coming out. Empire of Angels IV. I believe this is a East Asia Soft game. Then it's an RPG, I think. It looks like something L would pay. They classified it, and not only it's very crazy. It's very like anime girls, and they say that this is an SLG game. One, I don't know what that means. Do either of you?
No.
Didn't think
Super
so.
League Gaming.
It's very likely they could have meant RPG. I don't know, but it was made in Taiwan, and it says is a dramatic, beautiful painting, use full-time vocal and funniest 3D game. And at the very bottom of their description, they leave the tag "Girl Power Rolls."
So,
don't you love translations?
Sold.
It stands for simulation game, apparently.
Okay, that's weird. Very Japanesey, very anime girls. Check it out, I guess. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2 Bush Rescue HD. More rings, more vehicles, more mechs, more everything. I was not too crazed on the first HD remake of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. I played it on the Xbox like originally, and I remember liking it. And it's kind of just the same thing, but it doesn't really tide me over in 2021. So, but if that's your thing, the second one is coming. So there you go. Fallen Knight also comes out on Wednesday, and that is a side-scrolling action platformer. That's what I'm looking for. And it has a double jump, although I don't think it's a Vayner in any definition of the word. Thursday, June 24th. Let's see. We have Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. So if you are an Alex Kidd fan, this is a new game in that genre. It looks really good. Classic platforming. For Tower Defense fans, foo-foo, there you go again. B-Fence B-Mastered Edition. It's a Tower Defense game with bees. Yeah.
Beads?
Bees. Like buzzing
bees.
Is that a reference, Koosh? I don't get it.
I don't get that one.
Rest of
And then Friday, June 26th, ending the week, we have a Ratalaika called Loop Index, where they're looping. There's a loop mechanic. There you go, Vulgar. You test your wits with the loop mechanic. And then Scarlet Nexus apparently is a big game coming out. I think it's an RPG, but everything that I saw looked like a fighting game. Again, it was anime, and that comes out Friday, June 26th. So yeah, that was coming real soon. Now, Koosh, let me hear about those contests.
Sure.
As in one.
As in one. The one that we talk about now is the Gamertag Challenge. That's where you're trying to spell the gamertag of a patron to age 101. This month, it's Soundwave Core. and he has selected for his wildcard game, any new achievement or previous completion in a Transformers game is worth 1 bonus draw, max. And the bonus is the Raytail completion, which is a play on the word retail completion, which comes from Ray. I forget his name every time I come to this part. Why don't I put that in the notes? Brown Man basically says this thing, retail completion. It's beating a game that has DLC, but only getting the 1,000. So our achievement here, or our challenge here, is to get a base completion in a game that has DLC. You can do the DLC or not, but the completion only counts as a point if it has DLC. Limit 1 per
There
game.
you go. Half the month is over. You only need 1 entry to win. So get in on that. Now on to Brag Camp. In a much more manageable style, we have our completion starting with Kate. She is at 75 completed games. Dark Lord Dino Bull Davis at 130 completed games. Princet at the big 300. A Gray Shark at 345. Jerk, that's Creature Backwards, at 360 completed games. Ross completed like 20 games this week. He's up to 620 completions. Mental Knight 5 came out victorious amongst the Lego Head and Chewy battle. He is at 745 completed games. Neither Chewy or Lego Head is anywhere close. X the Hero is at 770 completed games. Jimbot UK at 780. And Elroy OMJ at 910 completed games. For completion percentage, we have Northern Lass. She crossed 60% completion percentage. Sincere Seeker 6. It's a lot of S's. Completed 67% of their collection, along with Red 047. They're at 67% as well. Retro Chief at 1969 is at 83%. And this one is just crazy to me. Inigo Montoya 80 is at 99% completion percentage. That guy, he has over 1 million gamer score, almost 40,000 achievements available, and 99% of them he has unlocked.
Is it
crazy?
Is it crazy because he hasn't given the whole 100%?
That is crazy.
Yeah. Love you, Inigo.
In streaks, we have Red 47, currently on a 50-day streak. Then for the 75s, we have What the Fug and Toby Lynn. iMike Zero is currently on a 100-day streak. Lucas 1987, 125 days. Cerebral Assassin on 150 days. AS Unknown 1, 450 days. Ross Sauce Ross, 625. Enigma Gamer 77, 925. XNeo 21X, 1075. Seamus McLimey, 1725. Mr. Grompers, dang it, I do it wrong every time. Mr. Gompers, 2,825, and Matruck with 2,825. In Achievements 1, we have Unstoppable KD with 9,000, Neo 21 with 16,000, Dude with the Face, 23,000, Raw Sauce Ross, 24,000, X the Hero with 30,000, and Mighty Mango with 37,000 Achievements 1. In Gamerscore, we have Philip Wendell has just reached a new milestone of 400,000. The Rock has reached 460,000. Officer Zero with 600,000. And Lucas 1987 with the 2 mil. Good
I
Gamerscore.
should have had clapping ready.
Yeah.
Good job, Lucas.
16th best from what I was doing the little research there beforehand. In the
Crazy.
world. All right, so for true achievement score, Kate has reached 250,000 TA score. Matt Cam has reached 350,000. AZ Mongoose reached 400,000. Tony Calzone has reached 530,000. Aftos84 has reached 540,000. AS Unknown 1 has reached 550,000. Hawkeye Berry has reached 630,000. Sir Polygon has reached 720,000. Freemhole has reached 730,000. Gray Shark has reached 790,000. Kbo73 has reached 860,000. XNeo 21 has reached 870. BenL72 is 920. Northern Lass has reached 1 million TA score. Ahizo, a man who loves Drizzt, has reached 1.1 million TA score, as has Dude with the Face. Chewy on Ice has reached 1.2 million TA score. Mental Knight has reached 1.9 million TA score. Jimbot has 2.3 million True Achievement score. And finally, Lucas 1987 has reached 3,060,000 True Achievement score. That's a lot. On leaderboards, Ahizo is now in the top 20 of the USA Gamerscore leaderboard for card and board. AZ Mongoose is in the top 5 of the Arizona Gamerscore leaderboard for vehicular combat. Chewy on Ice is in the top 1,000 of the True Achievement leaderboard. Wow, great job. Dude with the Face is in the top 1,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard. Killing it. Creature Backwards is in the top 100 of the completed game leaderboard for turn-based. Inigo Montoya is in the top 100 of the True Achievement leaderboard. Woo! Kingsman has a pair of them here for top 10 in completed games for Sandbox and top 5 of the USA completed games leaderboard for Sandbox. Probably should have flipped those around. That's on me. I'm sorry, Kingsman. Mental Knight 5 is in the top 5 of the TA Difference leaderboard for educational and trivia. Quick Don't Die is in the top 20 of the True Achievement leaderboard for Battle Royale. Rossos Ross is in the top 2,000 of the True Achievement leaderboard for survival horror. And then I'll do the L roll for this evening for the brag camp. Mike Pitch has completed Peepaw's Farm. Good job. That took you 5 minutes, probably. In other impressive news, Waka Pale completed Boom Blaster, which is a broken mess. Icefire TN completed Mass Effect Trilogy. That's a great one. NBA Kirkland completed Rise, Son of Rome. Death Dealers got hardcore spooked, completed the Blair Witch Project. And Gray Shark completed Aftercharge in like a day. Like he just went after it. So, great job, everyone.
Good job.
Yep, very good job. Even if they give you triple XP now and it makes it super easy. I'm not salty though.
Little gray shade.
All right. Little gray shade. Well, that will about do it for us here, but stick around for a very sequential segment with Elroy and X. And Wakapel reviews a broken mess, apparently, at the end of the show. What could that be? As always, you can find us on socials at twitch.tv/AH101, where we do our live shows and random game streams. Koosh and I will probably be streaming some ID at Xbox demos this week, as we are foaming at the mouth for. And you can follow us on Discord at discord.io/AH101. That's where we all hang out every day and chit chat. All right. That will do it for the panel part. Hope you stick around for the rest, and we will see you next week. Goodbye. Class dismissed. Sorry. Class dismissed. Ding dong.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a very sequential segment with everybody's favorite educators, X the Hero and Elroy OMJ. Love that guy.
When looking into which game will be your next victim, you probably look at a few things. Is it a Ratalaika game? Instant purchase right there. Estimated completion time of 200 hours? That's a hard pass. Inevitably, your research will include looking at the total TA for the game in order to get an idea of what you're getting into. 8,000 TA and no G-test going on? That's a pass. We'll cross that bridge later. You have a game that has around 2,500 TA? You know it's going to be a fairly casual experience that you will actually have to try a little bit. Anything under 1,500 and you know it's going to be a fairly quick and easy experience and you get that sweet 1,000 straight into the veins. Point is, TA is an awesome barometer of a game's difficulty. Unless it's not. That's right. This glorious TA scale that was just built up is actually sitting on a throne of lies and deceit and debauchery and chicanery and pure unscrupulousness. And here at VSS, we're not afraid to expose some games that are not quite what they seem. Exe and Elroy, love that guy, give you their picks for their top misleading game in terms of TA that is either high or too low. But first, some peasantries. Landlords, rich peasants, middle-class peasants, poor peasants, agricultural peasants. So how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I finished my master's degree, and graduation is officially this Saturday, so I finished the class, but by the time you hear this segment, I actually have my degree and officially Master of Education.
Man, that is...
So, like, it's been done. The coursework ended, about a month ago.
Right.
But the semester, the class finished, it was... I don't know if they do that in Tennessee. Instead of 15 weeks, we just did it in 7, so it was twice the pace.
I don't know. Is that like some kind of Rona thing or something?
No, it's just
the way they roll?
It's just instead of the full 15-week semester, you just double it up and do it in 7. So that's what we did.
Oh, all right. That sounds cool.
It was the full course. It just, we did it at twice the speed just to be done with it. So that's why the course finished a month ago, but...
Awesome.
Yeah, graduation.
All right.
Graduation! Woo!
The party begins. So, is there like a built-in teacher pay bump for having a master?
Yeah, I'm going to get about an extra $8,500 a year just for being a master.
Nice.
So that's cool. Now I'll make about $9,500 a year.
That's right. Woo! Man, try adding on coaching to that. If you coach a minor sport, you get an extra, $100.
Sounds about right. Cracks me up, all these people that are like, oh, teachers, they just want to teach from home and not do their jobs. They only got in this profession to not work and for the money. It's like, there is no money and there's a lot of work, dude.
Damn, they're on to us, man.
Fact check.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's cool. Yeah, ours actually had college, and then you had master, and then you had master plus 45, then doctoral. And so I actually have master plus 45.
Nice.
Yeah, they got rid of that one. I got my double master's degrees. Anyway.
But aren't you fancy?
I am.
Oh my god, we sound like Chewie.
And we're wearing kilts. Okay. What we got going on is, in case you missed it in the intro, in all the peasant talk and unscrupulousness words in there.
I'm not even going to correct you on that.
I appreciate it. And so what we got going on is we decided that we want to talk about misleading TA in the sense that a game that has too low of a TA associated with it, so you think it's going to be easy game, and then you get into it and you're just like, oh, holy hell, man, this thing. And it's just a terrible experience, and you're like, why is this worth so little? And then you have the games that you might be scared off from that are worth several thousand, or just wait, it doesn't even have to be a high number, it's just worth more than what you think it should be. It's like a real easy game, but for some reason it has really high TA. So that's kind of the theme here. It's pretty wide open. I have no idea what X is going to talk about.
It's more fun that way.
It is. So
it's not like abandonment issues. I just didn't tell Elroy what I was doing.
Yeah, we just I have
just
no
on
idea,
a need-to-know basis.
Yeah, there you go. So it'll be an authentic reaction. If he picks a stinker that I hate, I'm sure you'll hear it in my voice. So, but you want to kick off the party? You want to go with too high or too low? It sounds like Card Sharks all over again. Not Card Sharks. I'm sorry.
Not Card Sharks.
Yeah, it's not Card Sharks.
I'll go first, I guess. I mean, we've been breaking the rules of VSS for a while now.
Yeah.
So I suppose this is number 4?
Sure.
All right, whatever. Number 4. So I didn't decide which one I was going to do first. I'll start with my low.
All right, too low.
Too low. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I guess it goes without saying, since I had to pick. I have one that's too high and one that's too low. I feel like I've sort of prepped both of these as like an opinion piece kind of thing.
Oh, I know mine definitely is.
Okay, all right. So as long as we're on the same page there. But like I said, we haven't followed the rules for VSS in a while, so it probably doesn't matter. So, well, I'm actually going to break the rules before we even really get it. So I have for low, it's a tie between 2 games in a series. My favorite series, in fact, Assassin's Creed. And the 2 with weirdly low TA are Origins and Odyssey.
Okay.
But speaking of Assassins, Elroy, I know you're a fan of anime, or enemy as you call it. So do you know what you call an assassin who only kills fans of anime?
An all right guy, man.
We actually call him
friend?
a weeb whacker.
A weeb whacker?
A weeb whacker.
Is weeb like an anime term?
You're such a big fan. It's so much in your brain that you just forgot
I'm the
about
Go consultant.
Yes, a weeb is someone who is like overly obsessed with anime and just Japanese culture in general.
Oh, okay.
Shut up, weeb. So, a weeb whacker.
The lesser of two weebles.
There we go. All right, so I know everyone knows Assassin's Creed. Elroy's actually played, the first 10 minutes of all of them, so I don't need to go over the series, but I guess it's worth reminding people that the two I picked, Origins and Odyssey, are sort of after the reboot, so these are by far and away the biggest, longest, most in-depthest Assassin's Creed titles. TA estimated completions for these are... I think Origins is 60 to 80 and Odyssey is 80 to 100, so, a nice average 80 hours each, plus even more with the DLC factored in. And then the others range anywhere between 20 and 50. So these two are considerably longer than all the other ones in the series, bar Valhalla, but that one, we'll talk about that. So for proof of my claim here, I've compiled a handy list of the ratio of every single mainline Assassin's Creed game, for a quick comparison.
Oh, absolutely.
The original, 1.54. Assassin's Creed 2, 1.23. Brotherhood, 1.72. Revelations, 1.9. 3 is 2.04. Black Flag on 360 is 1.9, and on X1 it's 2.16. Unity is 1.91. Rogue is 1.8 on both. Syndicate has 1.84. Origins with 1.53. Odyssey with 1.55, and then Valhalla 2.36, but at the time of recording, the DLC just came out, and it's still relatively new, so that ratio is higher than it should be, but it is still considerably higher than Origins and Odyssey. So if you take out Assassin's Creed 2, which is quite easy by the series standards, Origins and Odyssey are... They're in the bottom three, which...
Wait, how much did you say Origins had?
Origins is 1.53.
The ratio?
Yeah.
I'm looking at 2,300.
That's true achievement. 2,300 divided by whatever the heck the gamer score is, 1,300.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now.
I did my math, man.
Okay.
I didn't do math.
Yeah,
I did
that
math.
Extra 500 threw me off.
Don't do math.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
I think Elroy did some math.
All right, yeah. See, if I had known what game you were, I could have done some research, but
That's more fun this way. But yeah, Origins, again, we're taking out AC2. Origins, very bottom, 1.53. And then the original, 1.54, and then Odyssey, 1.55. So, I don't know. It just, why the heck are they the lowest ratio ones? Well, I have some theories too, but what's yours?
My theory is that on Origins, that's when they did that user content thing. Isn't that the one where you could, like, load up a custom event?
And cheat your way to maximum level?
Yeah. And so I took part in that, and then I just got overpowered. But what I didn't know is at the time, I was trying to defeat all the animals or something like that. Like there were some legendary animals or something like that. And so it was for RTDL. And so I wanted to do it quickly. And I thought if I was at a higher level that I could quickly kill all the animals. But they apparently level up with you. So it was a very flawed. And so I did it for nothing. And now it just makes the main storyline not as fun because I can just one shot kill everyone, because apparently they don't level up with you, but the legendary animals did. So it kind of just ruined the game for me, honestly.
Yeah, bosses scale, if I recall, but regular enemies are linked by area. But even so, that's a good theory, but even with that, you still have to play 80 hours. I mean, I guess if you just one-hit everything, it's still a huge game. You're still looking at, 50-hour RPG.
Yeah.
That's still a deceptively low ratio. And since it's right on par with AC1, the original, that was just hubs, like the neighborhoods, the towns, and then just mindless side quests. But speaking of the first game, I don't think I've ever actually said this on the podcast. I actually have the same robes, like I have a set of them that you wear in the game in real life, and I wanted to wear them to my wedding, but Kel said if I did, she would just leave me at the Altair.
The Altair.
I don't actually own Assassin's robes. I just needed to get the pun out.
You really had me going there. I was like, man, this is a new side of you. I mean, first I learned that you actually watched the Alien movies, and now I'm learning that you cosplay Assassin. I mean, I was all in for there.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, it was still good. I guess
my whole point is it just doesn't make sense. So like I said, I have some theories, but I don't know. I'll just go into my theories. So Origins and Odyssey, you have like this huge map, and you never even visit certain places. Like, there are areas and regions that you'll never go to if you just play through the main story. Like, you literally are only going there to get the achievements associated with this, with the areas, to do the things. So it doesn't make sense to me that the achievement hunters on TA just randomly decided, like, yes, 80-hour RPG, that is the one that I'm going to do all the things in, versus, a 25-hour, basically on-rails shanky game. Like, it's not worth their time. So right. I figure it comes down to one thing. The highest ratio achievement in Odyssey is 2.39 for completing all the underwater locations. And then the highest ratio in Black Flag is 7.1 for doing some multiplayer nonsense. So I think the inflated ratio is due to the multiplayer.
Well, I can attest to that, because if you go look at my history with the series, the only ones of the Assassin's Creed games that I've ever completed are the ones that do not have that multiplayer garbage in it. Like that little cat and mouse game that they just throw on. I hate that game.
I have full gamer score in every Assassin's Creed minus the multiplayer achievements, which I have almost none of.
Yeah, I don't have any of those. And it's just like runs all the completions for them. And then they got away from that after Black Flag, I believe. And then my number of completed Assassin's Creed games kind of went up there. and then I just stopped playing them for whatever. I don't even know why.
Yeah, Black Flag was the last one with the competitive multiplayer, and then Unity had like co-op multiplayer, but you didn't actually need it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we were talking about that in the Discord, not you and me, but not too long ago. There's a revive achievement, I think, that you need a partner for, but otherwise you can do the missions solo. Speaking of Black Flag, though, do you know why Edward Kenway, the pirate assassin, could never be the face of a business?
Tell me.
Because he'd just be a sales killer.
All right, I get it.
Sales with like SAIL, because he's a pirate assassin.
Yeah. I got you.
All right, but anyway, back to my multiplayer theory. Assassin's Creed Rogue doesn't have multiplayer, and that's still a nice, respectful 1.8 on both platforms. So I was like, well, maybe it's not that. The multiplayer inflates it a little bit into, 2.0 territory, but I don't think it's that. And then I think, Mr. Roy, I figured it out. Oh. Remember those full sync missions?
Oh, yeah.
The new ones don't have that anymore, and some of them were quite tricky. Like, you could probably easily get 90% of the full sync, and then that last 10%, those were a pain in the butt.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, except the problem with that is that in Rogue, that only has a 2.3 ratio for full sync, so I don't know if it's that either. Basically, I don't know what it is, but my point is, I crossed off all my theories, crossed off your theory. Just for whatever reason, Origins and Odyssey have far too low of a ratio given the game that they are, especially when compared to the rest of the series. So that's my rant about that, I guess. It's just, I don't know. I put like 89 hours into Odyssey, and I got a 1.55 ratio to show for it.
Well, you should be proud of that. It's more than you had when you started.
I am. It is too. It's a great completion. It just seems strange, but yeah, I don't know. I saw an assassin at the grocery store the other day.
Oh yeah?
Did I tell you this one? I texted somebody. No, his name was Arthur, and he advertises the cheapest prices of any assassin. He's not very discreet though, which makes it interesting. When you walked into the store, there's just a big sign that said "Artichokes, 3 for $1."
Artie.
Because his name is Arthur?
Artichokes?
Like artichokes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's an assassin named Arthur. So
okay.
artichokes?
Like he chokes you out?
Yeah.
I got you. All
3 for $1. Oh, man. It's not as fun when I have to explain it.
that one I missed.
Hopefully people listening got that one. Oh, artichokes, 3 for $1. Oh, X, you so funny.
I like the Altair one. That was pretty good.
Left me at the Altair. All right, so yeah, that's my. I have no idea why Origins and Odyssey have 1.5 ratios, given how huge of games they are.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, that's.
Oh, they should just be higher. But that's it. That's all I got on that one.
All right.
Well, your turn.
Okay. How about I go the opposite direction? I'll just say these are too high.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3. Well, ironically, it's a tie here, too, but I do have an honorable mention.
We just went 4-3 honorable mention. What is...
Yeah, it's just a lot going on over here. Pretty much any game on Game Pass, that's your honorable mention. But there's 2 in particular that I just... I'm not really sure. I ran into these when I was in a certain contest, And so the first one is called Morkred or Morked. I don't know if they misspelled it, but Morkred. It is. Have you played this one?
I have not. I know what it is. I know the general concept.
It's actually a game that I was going to tell you. I think that you and Kelsey would enjoy. It's like one where you can play co-op, and person can control one character, the other person controls the other one. And I can see where it'd be fun.
That I did not know, actually.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It's kind of like, well, the game itself, let me give you the stats on it. It's worth almost 5,000 TA, which is a lot when you think about it. It's 4,911 TA, and it is a 5 to 6 hour completion. However, that has a built-in 2 playthroughs. So it's about a 3 hour, it's not even a 3 hour completion because you have to speedrun it in like an hour and a half, but it's misleading. I mean, the 5-6 hours, it seems like it's quicker than that, honestly. Unless you're bad at it. It has a
walkthrough on TA too. So
yeah, it has a walkthrough. You can watch a video guide. I mean, there's all kinds of. It's not bad at all. And so I'm really puzzled why it has such a high TA. But I looked into the stats on it, and right now there's over 13,000 gamers that are tracked on it. 13,064, and of those, 7,295 have one Chivo. All right, so the one achievement that they do have is just for dying. So it's like they fired up the game and they died,
and then that was it.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, I don't know, I just don't think I get this game, or oh man, this game sure is tough, or something. I'm not really sure. It's just really thinking that there's no chance. And so they did not even finish the prologue. Like the prologue is not like there's only like 2 parts in the prologue that can kill you, and I guess 7,295 people just couldn't figure out those 2 parts. It's like one time you have to run on one side of the tree, and the other time you have to run on another side of the tree, and if you don't run on the correct side of the tree, then you die. But you have to stay out of the shade, basically. If you get in the shade, you die. And so the other character, this is why I said you would enjoy it. It's because you take Limbo or Inside.
Yep.
And you cross it with Brothers, and that's kind of what you got with this game. There's even a cave in it, so not one with a Spider Woman that kills one of the the players. But
spoilers.
Spoiler alert, yeah. But this one has like an octopus thing in it, and it's kind of weird. And I really have no idea what the story is about, to be honest. You can watch the cutscenes if you want. It's not going to explain it, I promise you. It's just one of those weird freaking games where it's really artsy, and the end is like, okay, it's just bizarre. But it's a fun game to play, and it's got that twin stick control scheme where you're Ghostbuster-ish, where you're not trying to cross the streams. I don't know why I use movie references with you.
I know Ghostbusters.
You really don't. And so
I haven't seen it, but I know it.
But you have your 2 characters, and they cast shadows based on where this one orb is, and then if you cast a shadow on one character, it dies, and then that's basically, you just have to figure out where to position everything. And so when I first started this game, I thought that the 4,911 TA was really accurate, actually, because my experience with it was
Wait, did you say acrid or accurate?
Accurate.
Okay. There you go.
Right. I thought that it was, spot on. How about that? Because I was playing on my laptop, and my laptop I thought was a good laptop. It's a Surface, 3. I bought a nice computer for myself for my birthday and everything, and so I played this on there, and I'm like, this game is just freaking balls hard. There's a lot of balls in the game too, but I don't know. I was following along with like the video and the walkthrough, and I was looking at his time, and my time was like double his time. I'm like, I can barely get this thing to do what I want it to do. Like it's like a delayed reaction on it, and I don't know. The controls are terrible, and so I got about 3/4 of the way through the game, and I just couldn't go any further. And so then I decided to fire it up on my PC, not my laptop.
Wait, I thought you didn't trust cloud saves.
I don't, but I couldn't go any further.
But you needed to? Okay.
I couldn't go any further. It was like, I could not get the reaction time. I was like, I don't care if I lose my save, because...
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And so this time it worked out. And so I got my save, and when I loaded it up, it was like a different game. I don't know what it is about my laptop, but it chugged like no other. And so it was like this lag. And so when I'm in this game, you can't have a lag. It needs to be very responsive. And once I put it on my desktop, it was super easy because it was doing what it was supposed to. And so, yeah, that was really easy. I was like, oh, well, no, now I see. Okay. And so, but the end result was I had to do an extra playthrough. And so it actually was kind of a crap. But if you play it on a decent computer, I guess if you just play it on the console, then you wouldn't have any problem.
I was going to say, it is play anywhere. It shares one list, no double stack. Play where you want. Unless it's Elroy's laptop.
That's right.
Don't play there.
Yeah. And there's only one problem Chivo, which is the achievement called Not of Sound Mind. And it's actually the highest ratio one in the list. It's where you made noise with all the wind chimes. That one is not cool because basically that one would definitely bring the ratio up because there's these wind chimes. You got to hit them all. And there's what the rules are very unclear. You don't know if you hit them all and you have to move on and you're most likely going to die trying to hit them all. And then you don't know if they counted, and then you don't know until the end of the stage. And then if you get them, great. If you don't, then you got an extra playthrough, and it's like near the end of the game. And it's just bad. And it's just, you can't tell how many wind chimes there are because they're all grouped together. So you might miss one because it's being obstructed by another one. So when you get to that achievement, that's the worst one. But the speedrun achievement, you got plenty of time when you have a computer that's working right. And there's plenty of checkpoints. It's very fair. And there's achievement for no deaths. Now, if you die, all you have to do is just quit to the menu.
I was going to say, actually, I've looked into this game. Like, I didn't realize it was co-op. But yeah, if you die, just quit, and then
quit to the menu.
The checkpoints are pretty good. And
yeah, not the dashboard, but the menu.
Yep.
Just say menu, and then resume, and then it's like it never happened. So anyway, that was my first one, and then I'll briefly tell you the second one, which is the Falconeer, which is actually worth more than Morkrid, which is, this one's worth almost 6,000 TA. And I mean, I don't get this one at all. It is a 15 to 20 hour completion. Of course, it's Game Pass, just like the other one. But this one has 25,143 gamers. So a lot there. And 10,125, so almost half of those have one Chivo. And then 10,152 other gamers have 2 achievements in the game. 20,000 of the 25,000 basically loaded the game up, finished the prologue, and said, I'm good. This game sucks. And so, because you get an achievement for flying by something, and then you get an achievement for finish the prologue. So 80% of the gamers said, that's good enough for me. Kind of makes you think of the days of a demo, right? You download the demo, and then you see, oh yeah, I don't like this game at all. Let me not put this on my tag, but... Except in this case, it's permanently scarred on your tag. We should invite those people on for abandonment issues. Yeah, for sure. I mean, literally 20,000 out of the 25,000 are like, this game is awful, man. It's just, I am done. Because here's the reasons people stopped. I have some theories here. The first one is that these people that quit on 1 achievement and these people that quit on 2 achievements is that birds of a feather flock together. That's the first theory. Now, because birds. Yeah. But the good news is that 2 can play at this game. 2 can play. Oh, I didn't get that one. Okay. There you go. All right. All right. Here's some reasons why people stop. First one is that the game doesn't really tell you what to do, and people gotten lazy, and they want directions with they want a big freaking arrow on the screen. Right, yeah. Exactly how can you even play a game without a waypoint and a quest marker? Yeah, and so this game's not really great at that. It kind of gives you general directions to go, but if you skip the dialogue like some people I know, you really don't know what to you really don't know what to do, because you get to where you're going and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Oh yeah, I guess they probably told me in the cutscene. Oh, that's right. Okay. So it doesn't have it on the screen like destroy this or right. You have to pay a little more attention. The second theory is that the bird's controls are just atrocious. You can't get past that. More on that in a second. The third theory is that the checkpoints are not good, much like unlike Morkrid, the checkpoints are awful. Like, if you die, you have to start over, and you might be like 10, 15 minutes deep into the mission, and you're going to start from square one. And there's a lot of flying, and it gets really monotonous and boring. And then the last theory is that there's a pretty steep learning curve. When you first start, you get murderized constantly. Like, you're overpowered, and everything kills you. And then at about 30 minutes into gameplay, you can actually buy some stuff, and then all of a sudden the roles are reversed and you're like this overpowered bird god and nothing can harm you and you just fly around just destroying everything. And so it's like the first part, it's you're the victim, and the second part you're the bully, from the bully to the bully. And so I guess a lot of people didn't like that first 30 minutes, but you can fly away at any point and heal. So I don't know, just zig and zag and you'll get away from them, and then heal. They don't heal, you do. So it's pretty easy, I thought. And then my last theory is that, and this one's a bit of an ostrich.
Okay, all right.
My last theory is that people will just hate birds because they're awful pets.
So, is there a pun? Am I missing?
No, that was just a dramatic comedic pause.
I understand.
Yeah, and so as far as achievements go, 2 that are problematic. The first one is Racing Champ, and the second one's Falcon Collector. Both have an over 7 ratio. Those are the only ones that are difficult in the game, where basically you have to navigate this bird through an obstacle course, and it's just dreadful. There's like 5 different races. There's no quick reset. There's no timer on the screen. So when you finish doing it takes like 45 seconds, and as soon as you cross the finish line, it's like not fast enough. So then you literally have to. There's not. Would you like to try again? There's nothing like that. You literally have to fly all the way back to the beginning of the course. Turn your bird around, and it doesn't exactly turn on a dime here. And then you enter the course again. As soon as you fly through the first flag, the timer starts. It's invisible. You can't see it. And if you fail again, you don't know until you finish the finish line, and then it says not good enough. And it's literally like driving a barge through a slalom course. Like it's just so frustrating. And so I didn't get the completion because I'm just like, I'm out. I did the first race. It took me forever. I'm not doing that 4 more times. No, thank you. So anyway, but that being said, the game is super easy. Everything besides those 2 achievements are just basically just flying around, murderizing everything because you get overpowered really quick. And it's not challenging. It's just kind of boring. And the fast travel system doesn't really work very well. I still don't understand how it works. It's like every once in a while it gives you the option. I have no idea what triggered it. It's just every once in a while it's an option. But
they probably told you in a cutscene.
You're probably right. But anyway, those are my 2 nominees for ones that are just too high. All
right.
Yeah.
I bought, how do you say, Falconer?
Hey,
so is it 182?
You're asking me.
I bought it when Series X and S came out because it's exclusive to, not next gen because it exists, so it's exclusive to current gen. So I bought it just to, have next gen at the time. Current gen now, get that right, people. And I thought it was going to be like a Star Fox 64. And then I realized that it wasn't like a Star Fox 64.
Oh, I can see that actually. I can see parts of it in there.
Yeah.
Because it has like the same kind of dialogue system where the person's face appears and the dialogue of what they're saying.
Yeah, that's actually, I probably saw a screenshot.
Yeah.
Or not probably, maybe, I don't want to give myself away, but maybe I saw a screenshot and was like, oh, cool, Star Fox. And then I realized it wasn't after buying it. And then I haven't played it, and now it's on Game Pass.
Are you one of the ones with 1 achievement or 2 achievements?
No, I haven't even fired it up.
Okay.
So, everyone who played it on Game Pass, you're welcome, because I bought it. I think I paid like $6 in Argentina, mind you, so not out. It's a $30 game, I think, right?
You made it all possible, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. That was like, if I did 4, you did HM and 3. This is weird, so I'm just gonna do number 2. So my last one, it had low ratio, and now I have one with a stupidly high ratio. I guess that was obvious because I already mentioned how I had a low ratio and I didn't know which one to do first, and so yeah, so too damn high. So this one was actually really easy for me to figure out. Like as soon as you pitched the idea, I'm like, oh, I know what game I'm doing. Like there was no doubt. And then you like tried messing with me, like, well, let's do maybe just too low. And nope, we're doing this one. So that's why I was so gung ho.
All right.
But anyway, it's handy. It was on my brain. It's a good game, believe it or not, and it comes from my favorite genre, fighting games. I am talking about Injustice 2, one of my favorite fighting games, actually.
Justice 2,
which you have not played.
I don't even know what that is.
Is
that fighting. The one with the Joker on the cover?
No, Batman's on the cover.
Oh, okay.
I have a pitch for you there, Mr. Roy.
Well, I might be able to save you the breath because I just looked it up and I see 200 plus hours for completion estimate.
Just shut your trap there, and let me do my thing. So,
right.
If you're not sure what Injustice is, which I suspect you're not, it's a fighting game. It uses the Mortal Kombat engine. It's made by it's the same people who make Mortal Kombat. It's kind of just a reskin, I suppose. But same engine, style of gameplay, except with DC superheroes. And apparently it's based on the Injustice comic book storyline, but I am not familiar with that comic series, so I can't say for sure how accurate or how acrid it is. I don't know. Yeah, it has some obscure characters. Like, there were a couple that I've never heard of. Like, I just straight up had never heard of Dr. Fate. Come at me, people. I'm sorry, I'd never heard of Dr. Fate. But it does a good job of catering to, like, the casual DC crowd. So if anyone hasn't played it, if you have even a fleeting interest in fighting games and or DC superheroes and, supervillains, I would absolutely recommend this game. Even if all you do is, like, pull up the story mode and play through, because the story mode is superb and I won't spoil it, and that's also not the purpose of the segment. I do wish, though, that they included a playable koala character, because koalas are big advocates for fighting injustice. Did you know that?
A koala?
Yeah, a koala. Just
Can
like the bear?
They can't bear to see it?
That's pretty good, but no, they're big proponents of equality.
That's good.
Yeah. So,
is there a rhino in the game by chance?
There is not a rhino, but Batman, because it's DC, and he wrote a poem, actually. You're under arrest for doing your best to rob the bank of its treasure chest. Because, it's poetic justice.
That's an achievement?
No.
Oh.
It's just a pun.
Oh, okay.
Batman writes a poem, poetic justice, for the bank robber.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Whew,
man, I'm
you're
slow today.
Either my puns are not where they should be, or you are not where you should be.
I'm not really sure, man. I came straight from work, so
I thought I was pretty good. You're under arrest for doing your best to rob the bank of its treasure chest.
No, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm a reflection of the general audience.
I hope not, because I am crashing and burning and barely keeping afloat if that's the case. So anyway, there's a stack for this game, the Xbox version and the Windows 10 version. So on Xbox, it has a 3.08 ratio, and on Windows, it has a whopping 4.46 ratio.
Goodness.
Both games have identical achievement lists. They can be completed exactly the same way, which is cheesing it, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I'm not sure why the discrepancy exists between the two stacks, and I'm not sure why either of them is this high. But you brought up, and I have one thing to note, the completion estimate does say 200 plus hours, and that is because of one singular, very, very horrible, just all the negative words you can think of RNG achievement. There's like 1,000 unlocks that you can get, and you need to get one specific one of them. And you can basically do everything else in the game, and
which achievement is that? I'm not saying.
Cat call.
Cat call.
You have to unlock a skill for Catwoman, and then just use that skill in a match, basically. But it is a pain in the butt to unlock.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
It's entirely RNG, and yeah, people like love the game, but 0.5 stars because of this one achievement, which is stupid. Don't rate games like that. But
wow, yeah.
If you are even like half decent at fighting games, and you are content with getting all but that one achievement, which would give you 1,180 gamer score, you just miss a 15-pointer. You can easily do that in, I'd say 30 to 40 hours, which, for a fighting game, that's not bad. A little bit of grinding, but, by fighting game standards, that's fine. But I really, the whole point of this is I don't understand why the ratio is so high, because most of the list is very simple and foolproof if you have two controllers, because you can just beat yourself up. And even if you don't have two controllers, the AI on very easy, they might as well just call it suicidal, because it just stands there and lets you kill it. So no one should have a problem against very easy AI if you don't have two controllers. Let me offer some examples, and I'm going to use the Windows ratios just because they're stupidly high, but the achievements are the same on Xbox, and, they're also stupidly high there, and the same principle applies. I was trying to find a more eloquent way of saying stupidly high, but someone stole my thesaurus, so I can't even describe the injustice.
No, I like that one.
Yeah, all right. Back in the game, baby.
That was a hit.
Get hit because it's a fighting game?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, so Elroy, I know you're not big on fighting games. The only ones that you play are where you can get 1,000 gamer score in 5 minutes by kicking an old dude in the face. But
hey, man, I play those Gentlemen 720 now.
But even you could do these achievements. So let me read you the achievement description and then the associated ratio. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Press the A button at 4:30 for a 4.86 ratio.
Wait a minute. Is that AM or PM?
Either or. It's the 4:30 train.
All right, yeah.
Press the A button. Literally, press the A button at 4:30 for a 4.86 ratio.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Press the A button at 8 p.m. for a 4.89 ratio.
Hey, I could do that one at night or in the morning.
Press the right bumper 3 times for 3.52 ratio.
Just in general?
I mean, there's specifics attached to it. You have to stand in a certain place. That press the right bumper. There's another one for pressing the right bumper in a different place 3 times for a 2.45 ratio. Beat a dummy up and press right bumper next to a crocodile for a 3.65 ratio.
All right, I'll admit I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
Beat up
okay.
a dummy. Is the dummy know the crocodile, or is this completely unrelated?
Just the dummy is your second controller. This is what the achievements are. I don't care what the actual description says. That's what it is. Beat a dummy up and press right bumper in front of a crocodile. 3.65 ratio.
I do like that one.
Yeah. There are lots of achievements for beating somebody up and then pressing the triggers, all of which are around a 4.0 ratio. Just mash the A button until they're low, and then hit the triggers, and then bam. 60 TA, 15 gamer score, 4.0 ratio. I'll spare you the detail of listing out all 30 examples because they're all character specific, but most of them can be done in about 30 seconds, and then you get your 4 ratio achievement. And if you play as Batman, he has a couple character specific ones that take a few rounds, but they're all like still pretty quick, and they have, a good ratio to show for it. I built, over the winter, a Batman snowman, a snow Batman? I have no idea what I would call it. But I packed it really tight, so I guess you could say it was in just ice.
Hey, you're 2 for 2 now. You just had to get warmed up.
All right. Whatever. My favorite achievement in this game, you ready?
Yep.
Hit the down button 10 times for a 1.79 ratio.
Okay.
That's it.
What is the name of that one?
I don't remember the name. It's for ducking 10 times in a match. Just
ducking.
Pull up a match, hit down button 10 times, 1.79 ratio. Easy.
It's one called Would You Like Some Crumpets with that?
Because you're teabagging. I get it. That's clever. So anyway, my point here is, Elroy, you've grinded out dying 1,000 times for like a 1.04 ratio. So why won't people just hit the down button 10 times for 1.79? I don't get it. And then that same achievement, even on Xbox One, it has a 1.24. Hitting a button 10 times should not have a 1.24 ratio. So like, come on, people.
Game Pass.
Well,
Is it on Game Pass?
But the ratio hasn't gone up too terribly much, because it just recently came to Game Pass. But yeah, it has like hilariously high TA for very little effort, you don't need any skill in fighting games. So, Elroy, there's 2 stacks here. If you just happen to find yourself in a contest that shall not be named, I'll probably keep this one. Keep it in mind.
I will, actually. I think I'll add it to my potential list. I keep a running list now, but I'm looking at this play 200 online matches is only worth 15 gamer score. Like, what the hell, man? That's usually one that's worth a lot more than that.
Yeah, look at the ratio, though, man.
I know, but still.
And that one you can get in a lobby with a friend and then just quit out. And if you have it installed to an SSD, it loads like 10 seconds. It's lightning quick. So whatever, 200 times 10, that's 2,000 seconds. It goes very quick. It's really not a bad grind by fighting game standards.
Why is like every achievement worth 15 points? Like,
I don't know.
Annoying.
There's like, 60-something achievements?
There's like no achievements worth anything more than 15 points? Is that?
I think the big ones are, there's 2 50-pointers. It's been a while, actually, since I looked at the super easy achievements, but my point is, there's 2 stacks. You can play it twice because we like stacks. And it's free on Game Pass because Phil. And do you know why justice is a dish best served cold?
Tell me.
Because if it was served warm, it would be just water, and That's weird.
You're on a roll, man. You peaked at the right time. I like this.
I think you just started paying attention once you realized how good my puns were and you were
if I
missing
had been
out.
able to look at these games on the front end, I might have been able to concentrate more.
That's it. Injustice. Both stacks. Stupidly high ratio for very easy tasks.
Yeah.
There we go.
I do like how you scolded everyone about how they shouldn't rate games like that. You with your 1 star on Spike Million. So
that's because it was hard, not because of the achievements. That's totally acceptable. Come on.
Of course. All right. Well, I guess I'll.
Number 1.
Number 1. I got number 1. Okay.
Also, if you happen to hear this, there's a dude in chat the other day was having a hard time differentiating voices. I'm the one that just screams and growls randomly. Number 1.
Yeah, that's you. I can verify. I'm the one that enunciates so well. All right.
That's a pretty accurate statement.
Accurate. So for my misleading TA, too low, I need to preface it first and say that it's not just this game. I have to preface it that it is an entire subgenre of games. It's not just this game. So I've created a subgenre. See? Huh? All right. So it lies deep. So you look deep in the belly of the beast, which is the massive platforming genre. Okay. So you got this massive platforming genre that's just, they throw everything in there. And in fact, there's many subgenres in there. And this one is, I've given it a name. You ready for this?
Okay.
Platfailers.
All right.
All right.
That's not on, my tier of puns, let's be honest, but...
Oh, no, it's not necessarily it's supposed to be more of a description. It's not, I didn't mean it to be too punny. I just tried to make it like...
All right.
A description. So instead of a platformer, this is a platfailer. And so I have no idea. I was pretty proud of it. I thought it was pretty clever because basically it's one of these little crappy platformers that has minimal graphics, and it's like 9 times out of 10, it takes place on a single screen at one time where everything on the damn screen is trying to kill you, and you have no hit points, and you instantly die if you even look at some spikes wrong, okay? If you just, stub your toe on a spike, you blow up and you have to start over. And there's so many of these freaking games. I'm telling you, it's a subgenre, platfailer. And so here's something that pissed me off recently. All right. Alteric. I've talked about that one a lot, but that was one that from way back in the day. There's one called Dead Dungeon that of the ones that I'm listing here, this is the only one I have not finished. It pissed me off so bad that I just stopped playing it, and I don't have any desire ever to go back because it's just, I just don't like these type of games. What made me actually think of these are one that I played yesterday, which is called The Lost Cube. All right. And so that one it's basically the same formula. You basically can jump and you just avoid stuff and you have to grab stuff and not die. And then there's a couple of Ratalaika ones. 0000. That's one.
That was one of the last rats I played, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a platfailer.
That was a platfailer. I see where you're coming from. I understand now.
Okay. And then another one is Duck Souls Plus, another Ratalaika special. Same concept, platfailer. So there's all kinds of them. And they all have the same formula. But of all these, the one that is my least favorite of all, that has pissed me off more than all these probably put together, and is worth a whole whopping 1,343 TA, is League of Evil. The game is evil. I don't know about the league, but the game is evil. And this game currently sits in the 8th spot for the highest Ratalaika TA, which is way too low. It should be probably number 2 behind that dungeon game that no one really understands. But it's behind Ganbear.
Ganbear.
That is not a hard game. You just have to score and then just go hide in the corner. That's all you have to do. Paw, paw, paw. That one's a little challenging, but no, it's a beat 'em up. I mean, just use the archer and shoot everybody. And then I and me, use a guide. 2 parsecs, use a guide. These are not more challenging than League of freaking Evil, but they have more TA than League of Evil. Now, why is this game so frustrating? Why Why is it the worst plat failure I've ever played?
Can I offer my little spiel? I won't step on your toes, I promise.
No, go for it.
All right, so there was a time that I would play Rattlekos. It was a very, very, very dark time.
They'll be there when you come back.
Yeah, I'm not coming back. But anyway, I would play them all and would complete them all because, that's what I did in my dark days. I'm comfortable talking about it now. Pulled up this one, and I think the first level was okay. And then, by the third level, I can't beat these. And I looked at the list, you get one, level 4 or 5. You get one pretty early on, but not immediately. And I was like, you know what, I'm not... If level 2 is giving me a hard time, I'm not going to bother.
You're so smart.
So I didn't even want it on my tag. I wasn't going to... I stopped before I got that first one, level 4 or 5. And that was it. That was the first rat that I think that's the first one that I didn't just straight up just 100% and beat.
Yeah.
The others came later, not counting the ones that I haven't played in the past year. But yeah, that was nope. I noped right out.
That's smart. I don't even understand the completion estimate of 3 to 4 hours. These people must be just gods at plat failures. I don't know. But the first achievement is for completing 25 missions. So you had plenty of time to understand that this was getting worse and worse. So by the time you get to mission 25, you're like, oh my God, what have I gotten into? So yeah, I get it. I have no idea how I stuck this out. It was just so frustrating. And as you can probably attest, there's no checkpoints. Okay, you start up a stage. There's no checkpoints in this one. Some of these plat failures, they have a checkpoint after a really difficult series of jumps while dodging an enemy, while not falling on spikes or whatever. I mean, it's just usually they'll give you a checkpoint. Not this one, but
not League of Evil.
No, not League of Evil. There's no checkpoints. Basically. At least there's a quick restart. So, as soon as you die, you're thrown right back into it. So, at least you don't have to wait on any load screens or anything. But there's 2 objectives, okay? So, there's get 3 stars and then get a briefcase, okay? So, those are basically what the achievements are built around, is beating the missions with 3 stars and then also collecting briefcases. And a good portion of the achievements are related to that. And then they also give you some for just finishing the stages, whether or not you get 3 stars. So, and then there's some for defeating enemies. That's basically, in fact, that is all the achievements in the game. They revolve around that. The good news is that you can do this on 2 different run-throughs. So, one time you just basically are sprinting to the finish line to get your 3 stars on the stage, and then you're going to have to play it again and grab the briefcase. If you have a good run going, sometimes you can make a quick detour, grab the briefcase, and make it out in 3 stars. Some stages are set up like that, others are not. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit all on one screen, so you can't see where the briefcase is, and so there's usually 2 paths, and then you end up you see where the briefcase is, and then it's just awful in every reason. But the briefcases, you can usually tell where the briefcase is because it's surrounded on all 4 sides by things that will kill you instantly, and there's lasers all around those. So that's usually what the briefcase looks like. But at least you can do it in 2 attempts. But unfortunately, so that's the fortunate news. The unfortunate news...
Wait, that was the good news?
Yeah, the fortunate news.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And of course, when I say 2 attempts, what I mean is 200 attempts. Yeah. Because you're going to die at least 100 times trying to get that stupid briefcase.
Oh, it sounds like Dark Souls, except a briefcase instead of walk 10 feet, but...
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I know you love that Dark Souls. I feel pretty much
Dark
the same
Souls. It's the same game, actually. They're both a lot like Doom.
They are, aren't they? Yeah, this one has enemies and you die and stuff. So, unfortunately, there are 60 stages. So you have to beat 60 stages in Chapter 1. All right. So you finish the first page of stages, and then you get a second page of stages, and then you're finished with Chapter 1.
Is that one of those things you don't, you can't see it? I'm so close to being done, and haha, new page.
Well, it's kind of hidden. There's a little, page turning. I think you hit right bumper maybe, and it takes you to page 2. It doesn't really advertise it too much until you get to that point, and then
probably told you in a cutscene.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Unfortunately, there's also 3 freaking chapters. So there's 3 chapters, and there's 60 stages in each chapter. 180 stages of just pure hell of plat
Oh, so it is like Doom.
yeah, pure hell plat filling. Oh, man. So that's all there is to this game. It's so frustrating. I definitely discourage anybody from starting. But just out of comparison, why is this too low? Well, here you go. Here's a list of games. I looked up games that have 1300 TA, 1300-ish. So these are games between 1300 and 1400 TA.
All right, so we're speaking like this is the caliber of games that it's in league,
right?
With
the league with the evil.
In
all
league, right. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, the league of And so we have Horse Racing 2016.
Ooh,
yeah, tough one there. Meow Motors, basically racing around with cats. Life is Strange, that awful mess.
That was a shut up.
I threw that one in there just for you. Chloe, oh god, Chloe is so bad. Chloe, don't. And then Paw Patrol.
Ooh.
Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Something. Yeah, both Paw Patrols. Doodle God, Axis Football, Quiplash 2. Yeah, Nightmares from the Deep. So you even got an Artifacts Monday, cut some glass with some diamonds, and but those are the caliber of games that are in the same stratosphere as League of Freaking Evil, and there are 180 stages of plat-filling hell with briefcases. So there you go. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, unlike me, I didn't tell Elroy my 2 games. He did send me that one, and that was a good pick, man. Like I said, I noped out of that one before it was too late, and no bad. Regrets. That's a good pick. That one should have a much higher ratio.
Absolutely.
It made me think of Awesome P.
Yeah.
In a sense, similar. Just because like the first concept. I forget, like first 14 levels were easy, and then level 15 is brutal. And then it just gets easy after, but I couldn't beat it, so I have that shameful one on my tag. Sometimes 0 to 1 hour completion with, 4 of the 10 achievements or whatever, yeah. So good pick with League of Evil, I agree. Don't play that game. If you haven't, don't play that game. It's not a good game, and it's not an easy game either, so it has nothing redeeming about it.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess that's it, right? That was number 1, so hey, I guess I did all right with the number 1 then.
Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. That reminds me of top 3 reasons to enter the teaching profession in no order: June, July, and August.
That's good. Well, I just remembered the top 3 peasants: agricultural peasants, poor peasants, middle class peasants.
I'm going to end on a true fun fact. Kelsey regularly, and by regular I mean every time the words come up, confuses peasants and pheasants. And she has to say out loud whenever we happen to bring up peasants or pheasants, pheasants have feathers. Yeah.
Kind of like a dessert possum.
Dessert possum, that's right.
Yeah, see, 2 can play at this game.
All right.
So you got that time. All right. So
thanks for listening, and what do we even say? Let the countdown to the next one begin.
No. Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Beware Boom Blaster. I'm Waka, unwisely reviewing Boom Blaster at Mental Knight 5's request. Boom Blaster by Big Bread and Chili Dog Interactive is a hand-drawn 2D run-and-gun platformer starring one of 3 convicted prisoners who are offered their freedom if they can track down and destroy an evil robot. You can choose to play as either a gun runner, a wolfman, or a robot with slightly different abilities. You can only use one character in a playthrough, which is unfortunate as you likely won't bother playing as a second character. Boom Blaster is $5, which at first appears a steal. The game has detailed hand-drawn graphics, but I honestly did not care much for its style. After figuring out the unusual control scheme, it controls pretty well as long as you avoid the D-pad or have to wall jump. For some reason, your character keeps moving for a while after letting go of the D-pad, but does not do so if you use the left stick to move. Jump is the right bumper, duck and slide is left trigger, you shoot using the left bumper and throw grenades with the right trigger, and you can't ream up the controls in the game. The controls are weird, but they work, and running and gunning through the first level of 18 is not bad. Unfortunately, you are unlikely to make it through the first level before you've been hit by your first major bug. It might just be a crappy Xbox port, but I'm sure the PC and Switch versions are far from bug-free. The game features achievement tracking, but if you decide to look at them, the game stops responding to inputs and you have to force close the game, which is very annoying as Boom Blaster frequently stops saving game and achievement progress. This usually happens if you play the game for longer than 5 minutes, and it has been reported that one action that causes the bug is firing while dying. As this is a fast-paced run and gun with instant death spikes and traps, this is very difficult to avoid. If you want to earn achievements, or have your progress saved at all, it is safest to close and restart the game every time you die, which is highly annoying due to the unskippable developer screens. The game is such a glitchy mess right now, I cannot recommend it to anyone, which is kind of a shame as it is not bad when it works. Boom Blaster is by no means a good game, but it could be a decent run and gun for fans of the genre, but it is hampered by some fun killing game design. Mainly hard to see instant death traps and absolutely atrocious wall jumping. This is, or should be, mitigated by frequent checkpoints, but they rarely work. The bosses are not the brightest, but they are fun if you like to figure out and outsmart enemy patterns. Half the time, my progress was not saved between checkpoints, which made me question how more than half of its 500 starters on TA had completed the game. The answer was not hard to find. There's a cheat code used to unlock all levels, giving you all the coins you need and refilling your health at will. After playing through the first 2 levels multiple times due to the game not saving, I activated the cheats and finished the 3 big boss levels and jumped around using the level select in order to find all the weapon types. This took me just over 2 hours to get all the achievements, but it could have been done in 30 minutes or less if the game worked as intended. For the completion, I only played through 5 of the game's 18 levels. I would like to say the most disappointing part of Boom Blaster is its squandered potential, but it is overshadowed by the myriad of technical issues, which completely ruins the experience, especially for achievement hunters. At its current state, very much avoid Boom Blaster, but should they fix the most glaring save and achievement issues, it is a decent, easy $5 completion with cheats, but quite a bit longer without them. Have a nice day, everyone.